tired of screwing up, tired of going down, tired of myself, tired of this town.
Small pine, big pine, the fish are the only difference. City out of harmony, lingering on the dissonance.
Today's episode of What Happened When is brought to you by the live version of What Happened When. That's right, Tony and I are finally taking the show on the road, and we're taking it to Crockett Country. Come see us, man. Tickets are on sale right now for us bringing the show to Charlotte, and we're not done. We're also going to be checking out Nashville. You can pick up tickets right now at tomzinc.com or lowkeybighog.com. How are you looking forward to this, Tony?
Well, I'm looking forward to being in Charlotte to see people that I maybe have not connected with in a long time. And who knows, we may have some surprises coming up when we come your way, but we're going to do the show live. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to bring up the moments that you've come to love on What Happened When, and basically just get to know you. And I can't wait, Conrad. It's going to be my second live show. We go to Charlotte, then we go to Nashville, Tennessee. And again, anybody who's a low-key big hog or a glass bottom boat member, and you get 2 VIP tickets to anywhere, if you're living close to these events, you can join us for free.
I feel like we should remind everybody that these shows are going down on November 11th in Charlotte. That's November 11th. And it's an afternoon show, 3:00. You'll be able to join us right there in Charlotte. They've got a tremendous opportunity for you. It's a Sunday afternoon, but it's at the Comedy Zone, which is a tremendous comedy club. Pick up your tickets right now, November 11th, 3:00 in the afternoon. There's no reason you shouldn't be here. November 11th. And I want to remind you, if you're living in the Charlotte area and you're a big Panther fan, there's no Panther game that day. So you don't have to pick, are we going to go see the Panthers? Or are we going to go see Tony and Conrad? Come see us and pick up your tickets right now. And you can do that at tomzinc.com or lowkeybighog.com. And the other ticket link is going to take you directly to Zany's, where we're coming in Nashville on Sunday, December 16th. And I know what you're thinking. Oh man, that's during the football season. You don't have to pick. The Titans are not playing that day, so you don't have to pick between the Titans or myself and Tony Schiavone. Come see us, man. Sunday, December 16th. Tickets for both of these shows start at just $35. And we're going to make you laugh and tell you some stories that we can't normally talk about here on the show. You can use your imagination as to what that might be. And you never know what we have in store. We've already been talking about some surprises. This is going to be fun. Check it out. lowkeybighog.com, tomzinc.com. Tickets for these shows are going to go fast. Charlotte, Nashville, we're coming to see you. lowkeybighog.com. And of course, tomzinc.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett First Arcade, 605 NWA, TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team, Turner, Bond, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off center stage. Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classic podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zink's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chair. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when?
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? Monday on the MLW Radio Network. But if you're not on Patreon, it's Wednesday. Get with the program, kids. Go to patreon.com/WHW Monday and join in on all the fun, like the incredible stuff we're doing today. Tony Schiavone, we're covering ECW Heatwave 1998, arguably the greatest ECW pay-per-view of all time. I'm fired up about it. This is my favorite promotion ever, and everyone says this is their best pay-per-view. How excited are you, Tony?
Well, I'm really excited, Conrad, because this thing is obviously full of violence and women.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love that?
Mm-hmm.
I had a little introspection from me. Is that what my life has become?
Violence and women?
Violence and women, yeah.
In fairness, that's what your life should have been this whole time, and I've brought you back in.
Okay.
I mean, here's what it was 2 years ago. Santiago, deep to center field. He's on base.
What's wrong with that? That's pretty exciting if you ask me.
3-2 count, just a bit outside. Ramirez gets the walk.
I like that.
And I know you do, but now you're over here doing battle raps and talking about parking lot panties.
Yeah.
And volunteering to sign up for hepatitis. And if you have no idea what we're talking about, you should join us on Patron. Man, I can't tell you how excited I am for us to get into ECW's Heatwave 1998. We put a poll up on Patreon, and I had 3 different WCW topics on there. And I said, you know what? We're really close to the anniversary, the 20-year anniversary of this famous ECW show. Let's just throw it up there. Cause I don't know when we'll talk about it. Cause I don't have a podcast with Joey Styles. He passed. I don't have a podcast with Paul Heyman. You know, he's under contract. I don't have a podcast with Tommy Dreamer because I don't think he knows how to get a podcast on his phone. I don't have a podcast with Bully Ray because, I mean, who fucking wants that? So this is really my only opportunity to do it. And you know how to have fun with this. I was trying to think, like, what if I made Eric Bischoff watch this? It would ruin the memory of ECW for me. And if I watch it with Bruce, he's going to make fun of it and just lean off mic and yell bingo numbers for 3 hours.
Right.
But at least with you, I mean, you're going to be a good sport about things. This is going to be fun. So I'm really fired up about this. Fire up your WWE network. This is already my favorite show and we haven't even clicked record. Go find Heatwave. It's ECW's Heatwave from 1998. It happened on August 2nd, 1998. I'm so excited about this. All right, Tony, we need to take a pause right here to tell everybody about fight.tv/StarCast. You know, StarCast is sold out, man. 20 plus live stage shows, over 40 hours of great content. You can watch it both live or on demand at fight.tv/StarCast. And if you hurry, you can even claim a piece of the all-in ring canvas. History is going to be made that night on this very ring canvas. And there's only so much of this thing. When it's gone forever. But you can pre-order this and join in on all the fun at StarCast at fight.tv/StarCast. Tony, you're in a couple of events that day. You've got the What Happened When, where we've got a ton of fun surprises for you. But you're doing Botchamania too. And we've got some professional comedian help there when Ron Funches joins us. And of course, Cassio Kid. But I talked to Matthew this past week. He is really excited about what he's presenting to you. Do you want a hint?
Hint me.
Something you've never seen before and something that it'll take your breath away. How's that?
Oh, all right. Well, I can't wait. And here's another thing, Conrad, that I think is so great about it. I know a lot of my friends and a lot of people that follow us say, you know, I can't make it out to Chicago. Hey, that's okay, because you can join us and you can still be with us, even if you can't make it out there into Chicago. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be seen everywhere. And I guess this surprise for me is going to be seen as well, right?
Yeah, we've got a few surprises for you, not just during Botchamania, but your actual stage show as well. And we've got other fun stuff like Behind the Themes with Jim Johnson. We've got a Monday Night War debate with Bruce Pritchard and Eric Bischoff. We've also got an NWO reunion. We've got a panel on a War Games retrospective, the Empty Arena match. So all the stars are going to be here. DDP, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and even some old school guys like Terry Funk and JJ Dillon. Arn fucking Anderson is going to be there. Don't miss it. If you can come see us in StarCast and get your picture made with Bruce and Tony and all the guys, by all means do. You can pick up that at starcast.com. There's 2 R's in StarCast. But you can pre-order and join in on all the fun right now from home, live and on demand, anywhere in the world at fight.tv/StarCast. That's FITE facebook.com/StarCast, and there's 2 R's in StarCast. Check it out. Do you want to call in a tag team partner here, or what are we looking to do?
Yeah, let's call in Lois to give us the countdown. Ready, sweetheart?
Enough fooling around, okay? All right. Now, I'm serious. All right? 1, 2, 3. Hit play.
It's ECW Heat Wave from Hara Arena in Dayton. I've got to ask you something right off the bat, Conrad.
I'm ready.
Joey Styles has passed.
No, he's not dead.
Okay.
He's done with wrestling forever.
Okay.
He got fired by WWE for shitting on Roman Reigns in an interview to be funny. And he was working on the website and a lot of the web stuff. And he's a podcast listener. He's probably listening to this right now.
Right.
And then he went and got a real gig selling, I believe, advertising in New York City. And then he was brought back a couple of years ago in 2016 to do some commentary, I believe in like November. And it was right around the time that all of the Trump grab her by the want came out.
Yeah.
And there was some sort of physicality in the ring, and he used that line, for a laugh. And obviously in ECW, that would have gotten over like crazy.
Right.
But in current day times, there was a huge backlash, and he just said, fuck this. So he deleted all of his tweets, and he's done with wrestling forever. And take a look. It's Francine looking as only she can look. There's about 4 inches of, 4 square inches of fabric there.
Yeah.
And 4 inches of Tony Schiavone really engulfed with blood right now.
No, it's more like an inch.
Roll Tide, my friend. Roll Tide.
Oh, man. Francine's one of these young ladies that just cannot look bad.
How about Shane Douglas? He looks a lot cooler without his fucking skateboard, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He absolutely does. Absolutely. Well, he kind of oversold that a little bit. Good God. He took a shit. He took a hell of a bump for just getting smooched.
Well, I mean, you've never been kissed by Francine. You don't know what that would be like.
No, well, I don't. Yeah, she's,
as Bruce would say, all the way live.
All the way live is correct.
Now here's the thing. I was like, cut the fucking music. That's what, I did that right on cue too.
Yeah. How about that? And he said fucking, and he said, God damn it, this thing. And I'm thinking, wow, they really knew how to do a pay-per-view, didn't they?
Well, I mean, listen, I know that you're probably going to dump on that, but listen to us talk, we're over, and they were over with it. So
how can I absolutely dump on anything with Francine standing in the ring?
You know what's funny to me is the press pass that there's like an all access pass clipped to Shane Douglas's shorts. Like, is that, he's walking around wearing the fucking belt. Does he really need the little piece of plastic to tell security who he is?
Well, knowing Shane, he probably did that to stick it up security's ass.
Probably.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. So this starts out with an interview. Boy, she is really playing with Joey here. Holy smokes.
How about those heels? Can you imagine as a man trying to figure out how to walk in that? That's what we should do on Patreon this week. I need you trying to walk in some of Lois's heels.
Okay.
That'd be hilarious because there's no way we could do that.
Yeah, I can do that. Absolutely. I can. Well, what's this huddle they got going on here?
They wanted to get together and take a peek at Francine's gimmicks.
Okay. Well, not bad. So Joey's going to open this one. And from what I understand from reading about this is that, Shane is going to be his commentator on this.
That's
and this,
right.
Of course, is. And yeah. Yo, holy shit.
So Francine was talking about how the fact that I love these opens back in the day. I bet your suit didn't cost $6,000, unlike, and then shoves his head in the gimmicks.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Well, never happened to me on a pay-per-view. So who was I fucking working for?
Give us some commentary on these clips you're seeing.
Okay. It's time for ECW Heavyweight. Oh my God. In the head with a piece of shit and a major fucking meal. Sabu on the ladder. And I'll just drink a beer and beat myself in the fucking head because I'm the Sandman. Yeah, who is that diving over the top? Was that? And there's another Sabu fucking move. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. These fuckers are just, they look at that. Look at, he threw him out of the ring into the fans. Were they trying to kill each other here? Is that what they were trying to do? Where they say, you know what, we're gonna fuck Tommy Dreamer whacking somebody with a chair. Conrad, hello, Francine. Were they trying to kill somebody? There's nothing like a little shot of the Blue Meanie. I love him, man. And of course, that's just incredible. Who, by the way, I got a chance to meet a few years back. Did an autograph signing with him. First time I had a chance to meet Justin. Is he still with us?
Yeah, he's here. He's doing a documentary about his struggles with addiction. I think he's struggling right now.
Well, you've got to kind of wonder with all the bumps they took, how many guys from ECW are still with us? You do. I mean,
lots of people make fun of, ECW's budget and all that, but I like this entrance set right here.
Yeah. This was what ECW was all about, man. This absolutely was what ECW was all about. And
describe what you're seeing.
Holy Mary, Mother of God. Oh my God. Holy shit and a brick. What? That's Nicole Bass, right?
Yeah, she is no longer with us, but this is what really put her on the wrestling map. Eventually, she would wind up in the WWF. She would be there by WrestleMania time the next year.
Right.
But she first got her big wrestling break here. On the left, on the right there is Chastity, who also at one point, I believe, wound up in WCW for a minute. And she went whatever viral was around this time because it came out that she had done an adult film of an oral variety. And it got leaked. And then the fellow on the left is Jason, who was an ECW original, who it was sort of like popular to hate. And then, of course, in the middle, the superstar, and that's what he is here at this point, just incredible, who had really reinvented himself from the goofy Aldo Montoya bullshit that we had seen in the WWF. He was essentially on loan here from the WWF, and they came up with maybe Paul Heyman's worst name ever. Just incredible.
Got it.
And not the best name ever, but man, he got it over because it showed a darker side and a more aggressive style. And eventually he'd start carrying a cane and be paired with Lance Storm, and they'd become the Impact players. He would even become world champion here. So it's quite a turnaround for him. And he's doing it in combat boots and jean shorts.
Here's the cold hard facts about what I'm looking at in the ring right now. And even as Mr. JL comes to the ring, in a shoot fight, Nicole Bass could kick all their asses.
So Jerry Lynn here, as you called him, Mr. JL, was with WCW for a long time, but right here, he had really started to come into his own. In ECW, he would eventually become world champion, but he would also have a series of matches with Rob Van Dam that put him on the map. And Rob Van Dam was calling himself, the whole fucking show. Then of course, Jerry Lynn, they wanted to call him the new fucking show.
Got it.
So there you go, man. What a difference in presentation from the WWF and WCW for both guys, but especially just incredible. Bob Ortiz is doing the ring introductions. Jim Molyneux is the referee, and Joel Gertner, who will be at StarCast, by the way, had one of the great lines of all time when he was introducing everybody on the stick. And you've heard that before where they would say in this corner, blah, 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 in this corner, blah, 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 your referee is bald. That's so good. Right.
Well, I was going to say he looks like the Haviland Express Lube guy with that shirt on.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
This is a great way to start the show. They're going to have a tremendous wrestling match here. It won't be, there will be some high spots, but there won't be some of the stuff that maybe you don't like. So I'm excited to get your take on this, because these are guys who are going to have a real wrestling match here.
See, there's nothing wrong with that. I've always said that you need to build up to violence. If somebody comes out in match number 1 and hits the motherfucker over the head with a ladder, then what does it mean the rest of the way?
Meltzer would give this match 3.25 stars.
Okay. Well, there you go. So our buddy Dave liked it. Then that means it must be good, since he's the measuring stick for pro wrestling.
I feel like I should tell you that this show is universally praised, as we sort of mentioned at the top of the show. But the Wrestling Observer reader poll, we always talk about thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. You want to guess where this one was?
Oh, this had to be way thumbs up.
Guess a percentage though.
95%.
97.3.
Yeah, I can see that.
The best match on the card is going to be Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome, and there ain't no doubt about that. Incredible. Second best is going to be Sabu and Rob Van Dam versus Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki. And I think you're going to have fun trying to pronounce all those names. Should be
yes,
good
I
stuff. Am. But this is a huge success. The show drew 4,376 fans, which is just shy of the capacity that they set up of 4,500. The actual building holds around 6,000, but with their staging and the way they had sort of planned, they hoped for 4,500, and they're just barely shy of that. 3,991 fans would pay 110 grand. And that's just a little short of the company record that most people expected would be broken. And that record was done at November to Remember in Pennsylvania, the prior year of 97. They did get a ton of money, for merchandise, $57,000, which on average is $14.82 a head, which is up there with an all-time record in the history of United States wrestling as far as a per person. So those ECW fans, I guess, they're a lot like wrestling fans today. There may be fewer of them, but they're willing to consume more.
And they're passionate about what they love and their product. And God, you got to respect that. Plus, here's another thing too. The overhead is probably not as big as it was for a WCW pay-per-view.
No doubt about it, because a lot of these guys are not on big money contracts, and you don't have some of the ridiculous production expenses. They definitely do a lot of less is more when it comes to production. And they're doing that just based on, the realities of their economic situation. But I dig it. And you can see the girls in the back trying to get heat with the crowd. And by the way, there's a part in this that just before the Dudley Boyz match, Bubba Ray Dudley gets off the microphone and gets heat like you've probably never even seen in wrestling. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but you're probably, we might need you to actually listen to that live here on the show.
Okay.
Just because you won't believe some of the things he says.
All right.
And you won't believe that WWE has not clipped it off the network. I'll never forget the first time I saw it in person, because I'd been reading in the newsletters and stuff that he was causing near riots with his commentary. And I got to see some of it on TV, but of course they edit out all the bad words, and they would take a 10 or 12 minute, rousing of the crowd and trim it down to 2 minutes and bleep all the bad words. Well, I got to see it in person in Dalton. Man, it was something else. He went out of his way. It's a different time. So you could call people things back then to get heat that you just couldn't do now. Like if you said it now, you'd be out of the business.
Right.
But if you say it then, and you probably shouldn't have said it then either, but you could, and people would just be pissed off, but not in a way where it was like, okay, that's it for you. Oh, check this spot out. Jason holding the chair up in front of Jerry Lynn's face.
Wow. Holy shit. You're right. They've had a very, if I can use this term, it's kind of bullshit, but technical wrestling match right now. They've had one spot over the top, but they've kept it in the, just powerbomb his ass on a chair. And the Haviland Express Lube guy is arguing with Nicole Bass, I guess.
By
Jesus.
the way, Bruce Pritchard, not high on Nicole Bass, says that her husband was a negative influence in the locker room.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
I put 2 and 2 together to sort of, I know nobody's told me this, but
Okay.
When he says, you know, her husband was a negative influence in the locker room.
Yeah.
It sounds like to me he was a drug peddler.
Okay. Could be. No, I think Nicole, and of course I've only read about Nicole since in the last, I don't know, since I've been out of wrestling, but she ended up before her death, she ended up hooking up with a girl. Didn't she?
I don't know, but I do know that she came to fame on Howard Stern, and she was even in Howard Stern's movie Private Parts, which came out in 1997, which would have been a year prior to this.
Right.
You know, I know that it's not a popular look, and from a production side, you may not like it. I know Bruce hates it, but I love that all that's lit are the first few rows around ringside, and then everything else is dark. I think that's a cool look for wrestling.
Well, you know what it is? And here's what I appreciate about it. It's different. It's different than what WCW and what WWF back then were trying to do. And there's something to be said about being fucking different.
Yeah.
I mean, I always said, and God bless Vince Russo, I always said during Russo's tenure, we attempted to be WWF light. And we couldn't out WWF the WWF.
Right.
So if you can't, then be your own thing, man. This is a fine opening match, man. Credible was a good guy. You know, when I met Justin Credible, and I met him at Bud Carson's in Allentown, Pennsylvania, when Bud had his wrestling show, there was a Ric Flair bump. I didn't even know who he was. I hadn't seen anything from him. And this is my first Justin Credible match, but the kid can really go. And you know what? You know, this addiction thing that we're talking about, and I shouldn't just flip it off like an addiction thing, but I can understand where kids in this era taking these absolutely crazy bumps would get addicted to painkillers if that in fact is the case, because they would have to do it to survive. I mean, how could you not take these bumps? Gosh, I am not condoning taking all the painkillers, but how could you not perform on a nightly basis or even a weekly basis without something to deaden the pain? Tylenol ain't gonna do it, guys. It just amazes me. And of course it goes on today too. You know, we see crazy things. We just aired the other night our Battle Riot from New York City and the crazy things those guys do. And you know what? This was really the start of it, wasn't it?
It was. You know, I mean, this is the height of the Monday Night Wars to me.
Right.
I mean, 98 was such a hot year for you guys. At this point, Goldberg's your world champion. Stone Cold's the world champion on the other channel. ECW's enjoying their biggest success. All three companies are really thriving. What are you making of,
Yeah.
Jerry,
And
Jerry
not
Lynn
only
here?
that, just look at that, man. Just great athleticism by both guys. Wow. Sit out powerbomb. I even know my moves now. 1, 2, and the 2 count. Just, but you know, the thing, and this is something I brought up when we saw our last ECW show. The things that ECW and Paul Heyman were doing back then have kind of stood the test of time.
Yeah,
Fans getting involved, chanting, right?
absolutely.
Are you still with me?
I'm with you.
Okay.
Can you not hear me?
I didn't hear you one time. I'm sorry. I had a button pushed on my end here, but it stood the
Now
test
I'm
time.
hearing
Fans
myself.
chanting, fans getting involved in it. I hear you now. You're fine. Just using chairs, using tables, using ladders. It just it's a little bit different than a Wahoo McDaniel and a Greg Valentine match now. All right, Credible up and Jerry Lynn. You know, Jerry Lynn was a pretty. Wow, I always thought Jerry Lynn really came across in the backstage area. He kind of looked like a bookworm, glasses, kind of looked like a businessman. But man, when he turned it on in the ring, he was a completely different guy.
Jerry Lynn is going to be at Starcast.
Ah, good. I haven't seen Jerry Lynn since forever. And what would ECW be without a chair? It's amazing that the referee's back has been turned all this long time. He, the Avalon Express Loop guy kind of looked over. What's the chair doing in the ring? Oh, a DDT on a chair. That's it. That's got to be it.
And it's not it. See Jerry Lynn getting on Chastity there about the interference. Just Incredible with a running start into the corner, up and over. Snaps him down over the top rope. And
wow,
they're on a table, and look, it's almost like Bill Watts' book in the territory. No mats around the ring.
And nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, for workplace environment, there's a lot wrong with that. But for what ECW is, why should it be?
I need you to call this, Tony.
All right. My God, they're going up top. What are they going to try to do? What are they going to try to do? Oh, my God, a Frankensteiner. A Frankensteiner off the top turnbuckle onto the table. ECW, ECW, ECW. Where's Francine? Where's Francine? That's what I've been chanting while they've been chanting ECW.
How great is that?
Oh, that is absolutely spectacular. Wow. And here's my only knock on that. How do you continue after that, right?
Well, now we got to set people on fire.
Well, that would be the only thing left to do. I mean, like for instance, right? He just took a Frankensteiner from the top to the table. He should be dead. But I bet you that some bitch gonna kick out. No, he's not. He got hit with. Oh, they pulled the wool around on my eyes that time. And now Jerry Lynn's going to pick him up. Boy, the referee just knows how to turn his back because, as we said, he is bald. Here come the girl now. Watch out. The real ass kicking going to start now because she could actually beat everybody's ass here. Wow, look at this. How she picked him up with ease. Do a little crucifix drop there, darling. Go ahead.
Oh, cooter shot.
Oh, my God. Oh, the cooter shot. Oh, God. And the fans pop for the cooter shot. Oh, good God. Is he gonna cooter shot her too? Jesus.
How great is that?
Oh,
The pickup spot kicks him in the ding ding.
Oh, Jesus. For just absolute pure entertainment, you can't beat this, man.
Look at this.
You can't.
Pile driver on a woman. Tombstone pile driver on a woman.
Okay, cooter shot at one. He tombstone pile drove her on another. And meanwhile, where's my opponent? Oh, there he is. Let's go get him. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Here we go.
This is just the opening match. Oh.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, my God.
Tombstone pile driver off the top.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. That's it.
What'd you think?
Every bit of 4 stars. Every bit, man.
I loved it.
Wow. Yes, sir. You know, he tried his best to protect JL when he came off with that tombstone pile driver by tucking his knees that time and having him land. But something like that's going to blow out your knee as well. I mean,
Meltzer would say that the finish looks scary and a top rope tombstone. Man, that's not something you're going to see very often. I loved it.
No, that's one of those that you save for a pay-per-view, I would hope. And see how Credible is limping around?
And look on the right-hand side, Jerry Lynn is touching his middle finger to his thumb over and over and over.
Yeah.
By the way, Jerry Lynn going to be at StarCast.
Wow.
He's a referee for All In.
Oh, he is.
Yep.
Wow. What a night. What a weekend that is going to be in Chicago. Holy sniker-molies. All right. I'm with you, man. And another Haviland Express Lube guy. Looks like they're changing oil right now. Looking into my car. Is this over? Is Nicole Bass going to kick somebody else's ass? She got it real slowly.
Well, she's selling.
Well, I know that, but I mean, they got it. I thought maybe the way she got up dramatically that she would just walk over and kick Jerry Lynn right in the balls. Wow. Here's my man, Lance Storm, buddy. Lance Storm was a hell of a performer for WCW. He really, really was.
So clearly they cut out a promo or a package or something there, because
Right.
immediately everybody's out of the ring. And Lance
Right.
Storm, before he was in WCW, was here as a member of the Triple Threat. But before he had any sort of association like that.
When he used to grab the microphone and said, "Can I be serious for a moment?" I thought that always made me pop. The way he would do it, looking serious amongst all this bullshit that was going on around him.
There's the member of the Triple Threat I was referencing, Mr. Chris Candido. And here comes the
Yes,
main
sir.
event. Look at
Oh,
there.
woo. Wow. Wait, wasn't she in the WWF at this time?
Yes, she was, but she had permission from Vince to come along and do this. And a show in Louisiana, during a table spot that went awry, Candido nearly had his ear removed. So he's wearing protective headgear now just to make sure that his floppy ear that's about to come off any minute won't come off here in the middle of the match. But speaking of things that are coming off, here's Sunny. I think about her every time I Skype you.
You do?
Well, cause I don't have to be Skyping you. I could Skype somebody else, but decide not to. Do you?
Yeah,
instead.
you're Skyping her. Sonny was with us at the NWA Fan Fest and Mid-Atlantic Fan Fest, and I got to see her and work with her. I loved Chris. I loved her. I thought they were just hardworking kids, and another tragic story with Chris Candido, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a little sad, but
Yeah.
man, I loved him as a performer. He was a sawed off, jacked up motherfucker who knew how to work and was entertaining as he wanted to be. And how about this pose?
Yeah, he's doing a Steiner thing here, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, running around the ring like Rick Steiner. How about that?
She's a lot better looking than the Steiner brothers, though.
Yeah, well, that doesn't take much. Well, wow. Okay, so now we have seen in this show in the first how long we gone? We've gone about 30 minutes here. We have seen Francine, Nicole Bass, and Sonny. Wow.
ECW knew how to cater to their audience, did they not?
Yes, they were. That's exactly what I was thinking. They absolutely knew what they were doing. Because I'm not so sure I'm seeing many females in the stands here.
You know what? Let me correct something we just discussed.
All right.
She wasn't here on special permission. She had been up until this point. She was fired 2 days prior.
Oh, okay.
She apparently violated her talent contract that expired in late 2001. And everybody sort of assumed that was going to be coming, but she was mandated by the WWF at the end of June to undergo treatment for an alleged substance abuse problem or be terminated. She went to treatment, said she didn't have a problem, and then didn't undergo the treatment, and then never responded to their attempts to reach her. And they had agreed she could work somewhere else as long as she didn't use the name Sonny. And she didn't here. She started referring to herself as Tammy Lynn Sitch, and then eventually just Tammy is what she'll be referred to here. And Meltzer would comment, Candido came out with Sonny, who looked like she hadn't slept in days. And she does in the face look a little different than we remember from her time in the WWE, but clearly she was in the grips of some personal challenges here.
Right.
That maybe still have some of her attention 20 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And again, that's another, in many ways, tragic story. But I mean, take a look at the performers that they have to open up the show. I mean, you got Jerry Lynn, you got Justin Credible, you got Lance Storm, you got Candido.
I mean, these are four. I know a lot. That's why I'm glad to watch this with you, because a lot of guys would say, "Oh, it was all garbage wrestling," and they were just brawlers. And it's like, no. I mean, the four guys we've seen so far are legit fucking workers. And Shane Douglas, he was out in the first segment. He is too.
Right.
Like, so you've got 5 real wrestlers, like traditional style wrestlers, not I'm going to hit you with a trash can and, jab this knife in your back.
Right. Well, I'm telling you, I really believe this, that being able to work a match still is what gets you in there. I know it's a male soap opera. I know it's the storylines that draw you in, and I do understand that, but you can have great storylines and you go watch a match and you go, man, that sucked. And that whole storyline loses something. And I still say a great work rate is what brings you in, because you leave as a wrestling fan, I walked away from many matches, live events that I went to see, saying that fucking sucked. And I pissed my money away. Give you a perfect example. Blackjack Mulligan, I'm telling stories now. Blackjack Mulligan wrestled Thunderbolt Patterson. Thunderbolt Patterson came to Mid-Atlantic, and he was there, and they had him wrestle Blackjack Mulligan at the Richmond Arena. And a friend of mine and I went to the Richmond Arena and saw that match. It lasted like 3 minutes, and it was a piece of shit. And we were so angry about that because the match itself didn't entertain us. This is entertaining. And the fans that are ringside are thinking, they're going to leave that night saying, boy, I got my money's worth. Especially the fans ringside says, I just was bullshitting with Nicole Bass, and now I get to look at the backside of Tammy, and I get to see some great spots, plus a Frankensteiner on the table from the top. So, yeah, I do appreciate all this. And Conrad, I didn't, as you probably know, until you and I started watching this stuff.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm digging it. And so how old is Conrad Thompson in 1998 here?
I just turned 17.
Oh, man.
I was the target audience for this, for sure.
Boy, you sure were. Absolutely. But I cannot imagine, letting my 17-year-old go to this. She had to sneak out of the house to go to this.
No, I didn't get to go to this. When this was in Ohio,
okay.
I was in Alabama.
Well,
but they did make trips to, Birmingham and Chattanooga and Dalton and Atlanta, and I went to all those.
Yeah. And, of course, now their library resides within the WWE, as everything does.
I would leave class in the middle of the day at school and go to the payphone and call Ticketmaster the very minute tickets went on sale for ECW in Alabama to make sure that I had front rows.
Wow.
I didn't care if I got written up or whatever. Like, I'm getting these damn tickets. It's worth it. So every time they came to Alabama, I managed to snag front row seats. It was awesome.
Right. And there's a little moral to the story, that you can be a slapdick at age 17 and still have a very good life.
Yeah. You've just got to decide you want to, and then go get it. I mean,
exactly.
I decided my shit was going to be awesome, and turns out it is.
Yes, it is. Look at this.
This is impressive. I don't care what anybody says. This is some Harley Race shit right here.
Yes, it is, buddy. Well, shit. It was Harley Race shit 15 seconds ago when he first held him up. These boys are going at it, man.
I think
Tammy also very good at ringside, being very
animated.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When she was on her game, she was outstanding. Jim Cornette is responsible for helping put her in the business, because she was originally just tagging along with Chris, and he saw money in her, and I'm glad he did, because, well, I became a man with her help.
I don't want to go into that story, but I can understand why. And wow.
Underrated super kick from Lance Storm.
Yeah.
These are probably two of the most underrated wrestlers around, in my opinion.
Yeah. Did you say, was Lance Storm going to be with us in Chicago? Are we going to see him?
He was invited very early on, but he made a switch in his podcast life, and I don't know that he'll be there, but I'd love to have him.
Yeah.
Of course, nobody else in this
Now-
match is going to be.
But obviously. But you got a podcast row.
Yeah.
Made up of a lot of guys who love the business and are doing their own podcasts.
Including friends of yours, like Neil Pruitt, Dave Pinzer.
Right.
And, some tremendous, guys like Post Wrestling, John Pollock and Wei Ting, they'll be there. And
Right.
Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling, they'll be there. And I mean, some really fun stuff. The Laps Fan will even be there. And they're, maybe one of the more popular fan driven podcasts where they've got devout super fans.
Well, that's good. Well, then I guess I could go walk down Podcast Row and say hello to a bunch of them. I'd like to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I feel that the only difference between me and them
Is you were on TV.
That's exactly right. I'm telling you, we've talked about my career before. I was in the right place at the right time. I really was. I was hired by the Crockett's to do baseball and was a wrestling fan. And wow.
Suplex to the concrete, not just the
Jesus.
floor, the concrete. And Lance Storm getting ready to do a baseball slide, not a dive, but a baseball slide, puts a guy down into his seat in the crowd, and he's not done.
Jesus Christ. Look at this. Over the top. Wow. ECW. And so Tammy comes in, and what does she do? She puts her hands above her head so everybody can see the package. She knows what she's doing.
Well,
Absolutely, she knows what she's doing. Yeah.
they're having a hell of a match here, Tony.
Yeah, they are. And I look at this. You know what I'm telling you. I just confirms my love of the business, and I really wish. And I get why Joey Styles left, but I've heard some of his stuff. I really wish Joey was still in the business.
I do too.
I mean, there's a lot of announcers out there that probably shouldn't be doing it. I may be one right now, but there should be a place for Joey Styles doing play-by-play somewhere.
I agree.
Yeah. Doing the death walk, man. The zombie walk and ran around the circle. I like great spot. Great fucking spot, buddy. Wow. And I guess the craziness is only going to pick up from here. But we've only seen a few crazy spots here. We haven't seen any chairs come into play here like we saw in the Jerry Lynn match. But they're doing some crazy stuff up top. This stuff is, get your balance there, kid. Wow, superplex from the middle turnbuckle.
And then
there's
a spot, which is so great.
Yeah.
It's a Murdoch spot.
That sure is a Dick Murdoch spot. And also, of course, it is a Three Stooges spot made famous by Curly. And false finish out of that.
I got to tell you, I was such a fan of everything in this. As we said, the innovation from Lance Storm, Chris Candido could do a little bit of everything from technical to comedy to high spots.
Right.
And then Sonny on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah. This match had just about a little bit of everything. Wow. Howard slammed him out of the top rope.
This match, just like our first match, going to get 3 1/4 star.
Okay.
Up next, though, we're going to have, if we're going in order of what aired, a New Jack promo, which is going to be interesting. But the next match is going to melt your fucking face.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Salt or powder in the hand. And Candido. Oh, okay. There you go. Shit, man. Candido could work. God, what a talent he was. And what a talent Lance Storm obviously still is. Does Lance still work at all? Or is he just out of the business podcasting? That's it.
He's training guys.
Okay.
How about Sonny
wow.
giving a little rubby?
Whoa. Gives a little rubby to where he gets a little chub, and then she throws him on it. Here's little Chubb. Boom! Right in the head
Here's
of it
the
on
hot
the top
spot. Are you
turnbuckle.
ready?
Rolls up the.
But in the process,
Oh God.
ripped off Tammy's top.
Okay.
So the gimmicks are out, and she's trying to hold the girls in.
Oh, she sure is. You think that was on purpose?
Yeah, that was the plan spot, and she's checking her nose, see if any leaked out.
Okay. And who's that? Is this somebody's come with a jacket? Look, my God, it looks like Big Bubba with a jacket.
Watch the finish here, Tony. Look in the ring.
Okay.
Watch this.
All right. I'm sorry. Okay. Look in the. Oh, whoa! Somebody's dead.
Lance Storm has to be dead. Top rope
Yeah.
powerbomb.
Oh.
The suicide
Wow.
blonde himself, Mr. Chris Candido.
Whoa.
Unbelievable finish.
Yeah.
Top rope tombstone finishes the
Right.
first match. Top rope powerbomb finishes the second match. Both with hot valets on the outside. Paul
Yeah.
Heyman knew how to book, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I wonder if he set up all the matches himself back then. I just wonder. Well, anyway, great. Tremendous in many ways. Beautiful in many ways.
So the next
Rolling up.
match is Tanaka and Awesome.
Right.
You're not ready for that one.
Okay. Well, I think I might be. I mean, we saw, well, on the earlier podcasts of what happened when, we saw, okay.
Do some commentary here, Tony.
Okay. So, all right. My God, I'm beside of my God. Wait a minute. Is that Eric Bischoff talking to my ear? Eric, you're on the wrong promotion here, motherfucker. Something's going on outside. I would like to sit here and look at Francine, but apparently I got to go outside and something is going down here. And we'll be coming back. My God, we'll be coming back here pretty soon to you, Shane, Douglas, and you, Francine, but let's go outside. Oh, it's that fucking New Jack, isn't it?
Yes, this is that fucking New Jack. And he's
That
firing up
fucking
the
New-
fans outside of the building before the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Look, I don't know New Jack at all. Don't know him at all. I mean, he obviously has done a lot of blade jobs. Holy shit, look at that forehead. But I did hear some of the things he had to say about Terry Boatwright, so I'm not too cool on that because Terry's my friend. So, and I only heard a couple of those things secondhand. Maybe what I heard secondhand was wrong. Maybe he didn't say it. But there you go. And what do we got here? All of a sudden, he's out with the fans.
That's Jack Victory he's jawing with.
That's Jack Victory?
Yep.
Jack kind of gained a little weight there, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes, he did. So he's apparently supposed to wrestle Jack Victory. Watch out. Watch out. There's a Cadillac full of fat guys. Holy shit. My God. We got a bunch of fat guys just kicking you Jack's ass.
That's Big Dick. That's
Big
Bubba.
Dick.
That's
Okay.
That's Balls. So you got Dick and Balls.
Dick and Balls and Bubba.
And Bubba and
Wait a minute.
D-Ball. And there's Axel. And there's Daryl, as you
Okay.
called him.
Yeah, I remember Axel.
Do you remember
but-
Daryl?
Daryl.
His real name's John Cronus, but you named him Daryl.
Okay. All right. I have trouble remembering what I had for breakfast at times. But so there's Daryl, and there's somebody called Big Dick.
Yeah, there's Big Dick, and then there's Balls,
Okay.
and then there's Axel. And
All
there's
right.
Buh.
Okay, so Big Dick. It wasn't Big Dick Hertz. It was just Big Dick.
Big Dick Dudley.
Big Dick Dudley. Okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
He was brothers with Buh.
Was Big Dick inducted into Hall of Fame recently with the rest of the Dudleys?
No, he's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like New Jack is too, just about, man. They wiped his ass out.
But checking on Axel and Balls or checking on New Jack, who's got color in the parking lot.
Yeah, of course he does. Listen, you're not going to have those marks on your forehead if you don't get color, right? Yow! All right. Yow! That's all I can say. Look in there. I need to say something serious about Francine.
All right.
Can I?
Yeah, I wish you would.
Okay. I do know that she had contacted you and wanted to make sure that I knew that she was a hardworking girl. I know that. I know that from talking to people. She was a hardworking girl, and she really put a lot of time and effort into her gimmick. You can tell she did. You can tell she did. The way she looked, the way she acted, the way she did things of what I've seen, at ringside. So you can tell that she did. She is just absolutely stunning to look at. I don't know what it is about Francine that trips my trigger.
All right, do this promo here.
Wow. I used to be a referee and I used to have teeth, but I'm neither right now. And I have to my left, Rob Van Dam, who looks like Jerry Van Dam, who looks like another Van Dam. And to my left is Sabu. Or is that Sabu? I don't know. Schiavone, I'm going to blow my whistle here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on at ECW. Conrad, would you take one of these guys? Because I don't know what their program is.
Well, Rob Van Dam's the whole fucking show, and they're the tag team champions here, but he's also the TV champion. And he's putting himself over, saying that everybody wants to see Rob Van Dam, and Sabu, who doesn't talk, would take issue, like, hey, what about me?
Right.
And I love that you called Jean-Claude Van Damme Jerry Van Dam. And right there, he says, we're taking on 2 top guys from Japan, and he sneezes into his hand and says, Hakushi, because that was the name that Shinsei Shinzaki went by in the WWF, was Hakushi. So he sneezes the name.
Yeah. God bless Fonzie. Fonzie needed to do something with his teeth, because that just...
Well, he's from Northwest Florida. It's not his fault.
Well, I guess so. Is Sabu is not talking here?
No, Sabu's not
the
cutting promos at this point.
Okay. So are we in the early years of the Sabu run?
Sabu probably first started to gain a lot of popularity in 93 in the indies. And then by 94, I mean, it was what everybody was talking about. In 95, you guys tried to hire him.
Right.
And he
I remember
bounced
that.
around a little bit at 95, and then 96, 97, 98. Those are probably his peak years. As far as awareness, but most people would say that he was doing his best stuff like 94 to 97.
All right.
Here comes Mike Awesome, who's no longer with us. He died of a suicide, which is unfortunate. But if he was still alive, we would be making fun of the fact that he has a mullet, but no sideburns.
Yeah. That's one thing that, WCW fans made, fun of. Mullet head was a chant with him.
I really do feel like right here, based on this look we see, his options were either to be a professional wrestler, or to be the world's biggest Billy Ray Cyrus impersonator. He's going to need a denim jacket and an American flag shirt tucked into some jeans with a big belt buckle and some shit kickers, and talk about line dancing, or he's going to need to powerbomb Japanese dudes. And he went with the second one.
What do you do for a living, son? I powerbomb Japanese dudes.
That's serious business what he does.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
By the way, those ECW entrance letters right there above on the entrance set, do you see them?
Yeah.
Those will be at StarCast.
All right. And this is
Masato
Tanaka.
That's right. You got it.
Okay. So let me ask you, has every third wrestler coming out of Japan been named Tanaka?
No.
Is is he any relation to Professor Toru Tanaka?
Are all Jones related?
No. But not all Jones wrestled. You think that
there are more Tanakas that don't wrestle than do.
Oh, I'm sure there's a bunch of Thompsons who wrestle somewhere in the independent circuit. Are they related to you? They could be.
No, I fucking hope not. So by the way, both of these guys had first gotten their sort of name and reputation in FMW. Do you remember watching any FMW?
No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
It was a promotion in Japan
called Fuck Me Wrestling.
Oh my God. Let's just cut this fucking thing off. We're done. Like, we can't beat that.
Okay.
It was like Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling or something.
Okay. All right.
And, they had a series of matches over there that just caught everyone's attention, especially in the tape traders, because around this time, everybody was doing a lot of tape trading. It was probably the height of tape trading, and RF Video was, had a close affiliation with Paul Heyman and ECW, and they were doing a lot of the production for them and would sell their TV subscriptions and pay-per-view home video releases and blah, 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 blah. Well, the FMW tape started to do really well. Paul Heyman took note, and ta-da, here we are. And these guys are both going to be really, really big deals for ECW. But this is one of the first times we get to see them. They had a match at the, what they call the Madhouse of Extreme in Queens that had everybody talking. So they do a rematch here on pay-per-view, and Meltzer would say this one was even better. The first two matches tonight got 3.25 stars, both of them. This one is going to get 4 stars.
Well, you know what? It gets down to athletic ability. Look at what Awesome can do for a guy his size.
6'6" and just flying all over the place at roughly 300 pounds.
Yes, and and he doesn't look like he doesn't. You would think a guy that's 6'6" and would try to do that shit would look stiff, and he doesn't look stiff. He just absolutely looks like he is in his fucking element, man.
He was my absolute favorite. In this era, my 2 favorites, or I guess my 3 in ECW, were Mike Awesome, Rob Van Dam. Here we go. Top, over the top, suicide dive. Man, I didn't mean to call it that.
No,
we'll go tope, I guess, or
Okay.
I don't know what it's called. He did a dive, folks, over the top rope.
Yeah, that's what it was called, a suicide dive. I get it. But he came so close to hitting his head on the safety rail, too. And that's just, God, as a wrestling fan, you look at that, you go crazy. I know they're probably chanting ECW, but it's just crazy shit that what they tried. I'm really am saddened that Mike Awesome has left us. That's terrible. God almighty.
He's doing everything. I mean, this is such a big motherfucker for doing this type of stuff.
I know. I can see why he was such. I can see why you liked him, buddy. Well, I liked him too when he worked with us. I really did. And you know what? We didn't take advantage of what he could do. Probably. If I go back and I can't remember Mike Awesome doing all this stuff. And of course, you got to have a good German release fucking suplex. Almost threw him out of the ring. So, whoa. So these 2 guys were probably sensations in fuck me wrestling. And now, is Tanaka still working? Is he still with us? You just never know.
He's still wrestling.
Yeah. Here we go, man. Bring in a chair. Let's go. Uh-oh. How about that sign? Got porn. Oh, there's a stud stable. Where in the fuck is he going? Holy shit. Yow! He's dead. Pin him. Pin him now.
Not dead.
Not dead. You're going to make sure he's dead, buddy. Good God. Tanaka a little concerned about his belly. Keeps pulling up his drawers. Missile drop kick from the top. Cover the man. After the chair shot. 1, 2. And he kicks out.
Still not done.
How long are these 2 guys going to go? I mean, how much, with these. Oh, my God. Thank God he hit the apron. Now, the table is set up there I'm sure that table has got to come into use here.
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
Jesus. So he grabs another chair. Now the fans are going crazy here now.
And now dueling chairs here.
That's you can get yourself just a little bit too close to the fans for that, man.
Some of these fans would have taken the chairs and hit themselves in the head with them. They didn't care.
They would have loved it.
Out into the crowd.
Oh. Back body drop, and the fans are going nuts now, at least the ones where Tanaka has ended up in their lap.
Awesome getting back into the ring, seemingly to break the count, which
there you go.
Really have in ECW. But no, instead he pulls the guardrail back a little closer, and you have an
Oh.
idea what's coming.
Yeah, I do. He pulled it back.
Springboards
Oh my God!
to the top
Holy
rope,
shit!
out into the crowd.
Oh, the spot of the day. Oh, the absolute high spot of the day.
A 6'6" dude
Yeah.
jumped from the ring to the top rope and standing on the top rope, not the turnbuckle, the rope,
Right.
and just dives out into the crowd onto Masato Tanaka.
And you could see where it was almost kind of it kind of was like the forerunner to a lot of shit we're seeing today, man. I mean, how many times have I seen in MLW when we do Infusion on BN Sports? Have I seen guys go into the chairs like that? And here is now 20 years earlier they were doing it. And it kind of set the standard. I've seen plenty of sit-out power bombs here. There's a 2 count. Oh, by the way, I want to let everybody know that you can tune in if you miss Fusion. It did download Saturdays at 6:05. How about that? On YouTube. How about that for a time for downloading?
I ain't mad at it.
I ain't mad at it either. God,
What do you think of this so far, Tony?
I'm just absolutely, I'm just stunned that a guy his size can do so many things.
He's the best, man.
Yeah, there's no understanding why a guy would take his own life, but he had to be in, his body had to go through just a lot of shit for the size. Because if, oh, wow, wiping his fucking ass out, buddy. Are they going to juice here? After those 2 chair shots, one would have to juice. Good God. Do it again.
Oh,
My
look at
God.
the chair. Look at the chair.
Oh, my God. Anyway, a guy his size is much flying around doing that shit is obviously much different than a smaller guy because there's much, I mean, the physics, the impact. So the body just can't. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just in the midst of just a fucking high spot fest and everything. I'll just throw him. I'll just pick his ass up. Hey, I'm going to pick your ass up and I'm going to throw you. Do you know where I'm going to land? No, I'm just going to throw. Okay, just throw me. What the fuck's, what's this? Oh, it's he's, okay. I thought maybe he was picking up a coal miner's glove there, Conrad. Why not? Oh, but he got his elbow pad back. What's that? What's that on the table there? Is that glass? It might as well be. Look at that chair. Good.
The chair is just destroyed.
Yeah, it is. So I might as well destroy another one.
You ready for this? Off the top
Yep.
rope.
Okay. Yeah, if and he pointing to the table and the referee says no. Referee now says no. Go ahead and cold cock him with a chair 1,000,000 times, but no table. No, don't do it. Oh. Oh my God. He was going to powerbomb him over the top, wasn't he? And he's still going to do it.
You think?
Oh, he's going to do it. Why would they tease that spot if they're not going to do it? Okay, didn't do it yet.
It's not a roaring elbow, as a lot of people call it. It's a rolling. What the fuck? Masato Tanaka's little ass has.
Oh,
Can you believe what we just saw?
no, I can't. Not only that, his head, the back of his head hit the concrete.
Yeah.
Not only, yeah. Now, yeah, the table, the fans are just going fucking bananas now. The table absorbed some of that fall, but still the back of the head hit the concrete. Oh, I hate to say this, but there's got to be some long-time permanent damage. It's amazing that a guy like 20 years later, Tanaka can still perform. Yeah, there's the spot of the night, guys. Power bombed him over the top into the table. So what does he do? He grabs the back of his head. That there's got to be some damage there. Hell, probably neck damage, spine damage. I'm serious, man. Going over the top like that to the floor, that. And it will cover now. 1, 2, and he kicks out. It kicks out. Okay. I get it. I understand for the and I'm not shitting on this match because I absolutely love it. But if you don't pin a guy after power bombing him over the top onto a table and he's hit the concrete, then what the fuck? Nothing means anything. Am I right? Am I wrong about saying that?
No.
2 count. I mean, you could there's something, a storyline could be said is that guy Mike Awesome just won't stay down. He doesn't know how to stay down. He's incredible. I've never seen in a big guy so much ability to just come back. What heart, what determination. And that's what you say storyline. But in reality, you got to be thinking, what the fuck is next? And I'm going to get my answer here, I guess. Is he going to DDT him on a fucking chair? 1, 2, 3. All right, so good. So it didn't take long after the table shot to get the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I bought it. Man, well, Linda Rufo on the sideline. I haven't seen her in forever. Photographer from St. Louis.
You're a fan of her?
I knew she was very nice to me. She gave me a couple of St. Louis Post-Dispatch front pages of Mark McGuire when he hit the home run, that one that that was obviously now steroid laden, but beat the record of Roger Maris. Yeah, stand up and cheer from that one, guys. Absolutely. Yeah, that's every bit of a 4-star match. I agree. Every bit of a 4-star match. And I'm not so sure that right now that Mike Awesome is selling.
No, he's fucking hurt like a sumbitch.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he really, really is hurt. So what the hell they go throw out at us next, Conrad?
Meltzer right. Awesome over the top through the table with Awesome landing on the back of his head and was seemingly dazed for a huge pop, as that was the spot they came out to see for this match. When Awesome kicked out of the pin, there was another big pop. Tanaka put Awesome down with an elbow for a near fall and a Masawa discus elbow for a great near fall before getting the pin after a swinging DDT off the ropes on the 2 chairs. Tanaka was badly favoring his left leg as he left the ring, and the fans chanted for Awesome as he got up despite losing. And Meltzer would even say that this was really, he was the breakout performer. While Mike Awesome probably got across as the star performer of the show with his size, moves, and charisma, and Taz with his tough guy gimmick, it was again the glue wrestlers, in the respective cases, Masato Tanaka and Bam Bam Bigalow, who were the best performers on the show and getting their foes over.
That's it, man. That's the key. Get your foes over.
Well, they did it, boy.
Yeah. All right. Probably could use another camera shot of Francine here. And we're on a static shot. That's because we don't know where to go next. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is our buddy, isn't it? I have nothing but great respect for Taz.
Who doesn't? Taz was my favorite. When I was listing him earlier, I didn't get to finish the list, but Taz was such a believable badass here, man.
Yeah.
He's got the shoulder, or the belt on his shoulder is the FTW world title. It's a similar main plate design to the old WWF world championship that's called the Winged Eagle, but it doesn't have the bars on the side. But anyway, they put a sticker over the front that just says FTW.
Yeah.
Because his gimmick at this point is Shane Douglas won't give him a title shot at the world title. So FTW is his fuck the world title.
Right.
Which I think is just tremendous.
That is cool. I remember hearing about the fuck the world title.
There it is. Fuck the world title.
Fuck the world title. Nothing wrong with that. So Taz is going to defend his fuck the world title against
Bam Bam Bigelow. They're going to have
Bam Bam Bigelow.
from
Right.
Living Dangerously. where famously he had a choke on Bam Bam Bigelow, and Bigelow decided to either throw all of his weight back or collapse, whatever it was. But Bigelow came down on top of Taz, and they went through the damn ring, like through the canvas.
I get what Douglas is talking about here. He's talking about his title meaning more than a fuck the world title.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't have to listen to the sound to see what's going on here.
Next up, though, is something really special, and you're going to make fun of it, but we've got Sabu and Rob Van Dam who are going to be defending their ECW tag team titles against Shinzei Shinzaki and Hayabusa. Have you ever seen a Hayabusa match before?
I have not seen a Hayabusa match.
Well, here's a Dudley promo. Give us some commentary here.
Okay. I have, people may think that I forgot my shirt, but that's the way I roll. Can you imagine how my armpits smell under this shirt, under this jacket? And right now I'm standing here with the Dudleys, and somewhere around here is Big Dick. Which one of those guys would be Big Dick? I'm not so sure. However, is this Big Dick holding on to Big Dud and Bubba Dud? And I don't know which Dud is holding on to which Dick, but there's a Dick and a Dud, and I'm a Gert. Oh God, watch out. Holy shit. This is Bubba Ray Dudley. Is this who this is?
Bubba Ray Dudley, and he'll be at Starcast, as will Joel Gertner. And in the background there, you see, way in the background, it looks like a young Jeff Jones, who will also be there. So you got Sign Guy Dudley, you got Big Dick Dudley, you got Devon Dudley, and you've got Bubba Ray Dudley.
And they were just inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame recently, weren't they?
Well, just Devon and Bubba.
Just Devon and Bubba. Okay. Not the rest of them. In other words, someone asked Vince, do you want to induct a Big Dick into your Hall of Fame? He said, no, don't want to induct a Big Dick in my Hall of Fame.
No, because little dicks need love too.
Right. No big dicks in the WWE Hall of Fame at this time. A lot of big dick heads probably, but no big dicks in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Heads, here comes Shinzei Shinzaki.
Oh, coming right out of the old commentary ninja school. You know, this is like racist.
What you're doing right now?
No, him walking out and shit like this.
He picked his wardrobe.
It's still racist. Okay, it is. I mean, he comes out.
Hayabusa's look here.
This is pretty fucking cool. But the other guy coming out like that looks like he was just come from rice patties or something.
No, people don't dress like that in rice patties, dumbass.
How do you know how people dress in rice patties? They may dress like that in rice patties on Sunday.
I'll listen to you.
Okay. They might.
They don't. Let me just give you a spoiler.
Okay.
Nobody's working a rice field dressed in this sort of formal white garb that.
Okay. All right. So
Shinzaki has on. How about the Hakushi tats he's still rocking for this American crowd?
Whoa, man. Oh, man.
I used to have a friend who was such a fan of his that he got 3 Japanese symbols tattooed across his throat. And I would tell everybody that it was Japanese instructions for a tracheotomy.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're bullshitting me on that one.
No, he's probably listening right now. You haven't met him.
This is man, I tell you, it's a fucking cool fucking look right here, man.
Which one? Both?
No, the guy who's all tatted up.
That is Shinzei Shinzaki.
Wow, fuck. How come we never tried to use him in WCW?
Well, he was on WWF as Hakushi.
Yeah.
And didn't get over to the degree that a lot of people expected. Maybe it's because of the pairing they had. Imagine if Paul Heyman today were his mouthpiece, how great that would have been.
Yeah. If he didn't get over in the WWF back then, it's because they didn't know how to use him.
A handful of years after this, Hayabusa would, go to do like a triple jump moonsault of sorts in the ring. Sort of like the Chris Jericho lion salt that you've seen where he goes and bounces off the second rope and does a flip backwards, but he landed directly on his head and paralyzed himself.
See?
and his career was cut short. And
Yeah.
this is still the match that he had that a lot of people talk about as being the premier match on American soil for him. He was also a part of FMW, the promotion we were talking about earlier. So he became a tape trading legend here in the States, but this is the match everybody sort of hangs their hat on for him. And this match is going to get only 2 stars, but the fans just went crazy for this. All of my friends thought this was the match of the night. I disagreed because I was such a Mike Awesome fan, but my buddies were in love with this match.
What was the reasoning? Can you read to me the reasoning? It was a 2-star match. If everybody that you talked to loved it. I mean,
well, there's going to be some sloppy stuff.
Okay. Sloppy stuff. Like throwing a guy over the top rope onto the table ain't just sloppy stuff.
The match was starting to get real sloppy at this point. Sabu pulled out a table. The table leg didn't stand upright. Shinzaki seemingly panicked about it. It was one of those moments where time stood still and the match totally fell apart, which was a shame because up until this point, they were doing a hell of a match. The last 4 minutes were a mismatch of Shinzaki doing dragon screws and everyone trying to do moves with no focus or crowd reaction. Sabu got 2 more tables as insurance. Van Dam did the Van Daminator on Shinzaki after Sabu did an Arabian Facebuster to the back, I know, of Hayabusa. They put the Japanese on the tables, which took forever to set up. It was just a big mess, but the crowd popped big when they got put through. So just, you do have, and I don't think this really gets talked about enough with fans, major language barrier here. 2 Japanese speaking dudes and 2 English speaking dudes, and we're on pay-per-view, and it's not like we've been working a house show loop where we've done this match 17 times. Let's hope it goes well. And in this era, they weren't necessarily walking through everything before the doors opened for fans. So they're just talking in the back, but how much can they even really talk and understand each other? And now out here in front of, 4,000 fans live and then no telling how many at home, they got to just show the world what we can do. And that presents a particular set of challenges.
Always does. And it always did through time. It really did. Even when, we spent some time in Japan, at least I did. And there was the language barrier there. There was a close up of, who's the guy with the tattoos again? Hayabushi?
Well, for the purposes of today, you can call him Hakushi, and the other guy is Hayabusa.
Hayabusa and Hakushi. Hakushi, Japanese, and I did spend some time in Japan. Japanese letters are like symbols. They mean something. And when they closed in on him that time, I was able to read some of that on his forehead, and it said, "Dave Meltzer can suck my dick." That's what it said in Japanese. I was able to translate that. But other than that, I don't know what the rest of it said. They're wasting a lot of time here, guys. It's one of those things where they know they got a lot of time, and again, you mentioned about the different the language barrier here. I think that's kind of coming into play here right now because the guys on the left don't know when to start.
Van Dam was not known for being fast. Van Dam would take as much time as he wanted to do a match.
What the fuck's going on here? They having problems with Fonzie? Did Fonzie just shove Sabu, or did
they've always been teasing that Sabu and Van Dam are a team, but sort of reluctantly so.
Okay,
because
got it.
Sabu thinks he should be the top guy and he should be the main event, but Rob Van Dam is undefeated on pay-per-view and the television champion, and so they're always teasing problems.
Did you see Jean-Claude Van Damme's series that was on Prime Video?
No,
didn't last long. Had a great premise to it, but didn't last long. Jean-Claude Van Johnson. That's what it was called. All right, let's get it started. Come on, guys. I've had enough of this dancing around. Yeah, I can see why this got 2 stars. because they just fucking around here, man. But in reality, how do you follow what we've just seen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we've talked about on many of our podcasts. How do you follow a sensational match that you've just seen? It's an impossibility. And they're doing a little bit of nothing here. I get it. I guess maybe they said after what we've just seen, we better just. I don't know. I would think it would be me, and there's nothing athletic about me, but I think it would be me that I just saw that. I would say, you know what? Let's go out and top it. Let's go out and push it even further. And they finally touch each other. Standing switch into a wrist lock, into an ankle lock. Just basic wrestling going through here. And the fans right now are just kind of. And I shouldn't sit here and criticize starting the match the way they're starting, but it's just kind of different than what we've seen. How long are they supposed to go, or how long are they going to go here?
They're going to go 20 minutes and 51 seconds.
Oh, 20:51. All right. I was saying we only got a little bit more of an hour to go in the show. And we got what? Total of 3 matches left?
Yeah, I think that's right. We got this
right.
one, and then we got Taz and Bigalow, and then your main event.
Then we got the big dicks.
Yes.
In the main event. I
like that. That's the part you gravitate to.
Yeah, big dicks. Big Dick Dudley. I don't know what about it. It just catches my eye, so to speak.
That's your favorite rat, isn't it?
What? Oh, there's a case of your lost in translation type deal there. That spot was kind of messed up. Robbie Van Dam worked for us for a short period of time, if I recall. And again, as would be the norm, we just didn't know how to use guys. Am I right? Am I remembering that right? He worked for WCW for a bit?
Yep.
Wow, look at that split. Now, that's pretty sensational. And once again, doing some pretty good stuff. A lot of RVD signs in the stands.
He's the most over guy here, probably.
Really? He's the most over guy in ECW?
Yeah, I mean, as far as with the crowd, the fan favorites, yeah, I mean,
right.
He's their special, he's their upper mid-card guy who everybody believes, they're grooming for the world title. He won that television title in April of this year, and people are already clamoring for it. And when eventually Mike Awesome would win the world title, that was the match everybody wanted to see. The television champion against the world champion, RVD, taking on Mike Awesome. What's your impression of Jinsei Shinzaki up to this point?
Can do a lot of things. These spots are not too well coordinated, but he obviously is very athletic. And I think you're right. I agree with the saying this match is sloppy, and understandably so. He's laying in those kicks, though. That will always kind of change things. If your opponent is not, wow, now that is a phenomenal move. Blocked it into, as I guess we call that, a Pele kick now. Maybe. I'm just relearning my moves. You know that, don't you?
What's been the toughest thing about that for you?
What, doing commentary now?
Yeah, relearning the moves, or
yeah, that's the toughest thing. I don't know. Everything's got a name now,
right?
And I don't know the names.
You can't just yell, "What a maneuver!" Like Vince.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm doing.
Right.
So, and I feel bad about that. I'm there's a couple of sites where you can look and you can type in the names of the move and they'll show you. But what one guy calls a Northern Lights DDT, some guy may call something else. So that's the toughest thing. So I just kind of sit back and I let Rich and or Matt Stryker call the moves, and I just go, wow. Like there, wow, missed a knee drop.
Chat me up about Rich and Matt Stryker. What's the difference between working with both of those guys down at MLW?
Boy, that's a good question. I've only worked with Matt once. Matt comes from a background where he'd wrestled,
Right.
so I think he knows more about the moves, and what the moves mean and what the moves can do than Rich does. Rich brings a great amount of enthusiasm and excitement to what he's doing. And the good news about both of them is they both have done play-by-play. So when I drop off the table and have completely lost in the match, they can pick it up. So, but I like working with both of them. And I can't tell you one announcer through my career that I didn't like working with the exception of maybe Louis Spicoli.
Why didn't you like Louis?
Because Louis was just completely out of control, which I guess is what they wanted him to be, but he was just completely out of control. And he was just trying to, it was like Heenan and I calling a match, and we had Spicoli with us, and Spicoli was just there trying to interrupt us as we're trying to call a match. That's what it was. And that's what I didn't like about it. And again, I'm not always blaming Louis for that. That's probably what they wanted him to be. It's like, two guys trying to call a match, and, Heenan's already the smartass, and Louis trying to be a bigger smartass than Heenan. And how's that going to work? So it was kind of tough. But other than that, I liked everybody. And I really, really enjoyed my work with Stryker, man. But one of the reasons is because, I watched some Lucha Underground. I thought he was sensational.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to be very honest with you. Stryker could probably end up doing the play-by-play, and I could just move off into the sunset.
Nobody wants that. Shut up.
Well, I could. I mean, I could very easily do that and just do a podcast the rest of my life.
The rest of your life. Ugh.
Well, I'm not going to live that much longer. It's not like I'm your age.
I'm not going to live that much longer.
Yeah, you got a lot of time left in your life, buddy. You're just getting married.
That's
You're
true.
just starting your life, buddy. Young man, you're starting your life. You're in the formative years of your life.
That's funny.
Okay. Sabu missing those blows. Leg sweep. Conrad, you brought up a real good point about the difference in language, and it's pretty apparent here, isn't it?
I think so. My buddies were so enamored with the star power of these because, a lot of my friends were super fans of the FMW tapes, and there was nobody in our circle who wasn't a fan of Sabu or Rob Van Dam. How about Sabu even teasing biting the knee? I was a big fan of the boots, the footwear rather of Hayabusa with the split toe thing.
Yeah.
I have a funny Hayabusa story. I was at a TNA show back when they were doing weekly pay-per-views in Nashville on Wednesday nights. I think you made one of those, right?
Yes.
So, I'm there with my buddy who's working for TNA, doing a lot of video on demand stuff. And we're hanging out in the back hours before the show starts. And Ricky Morton is trying to make conversation with a Japanese performer there who's going to be on the show that night. And he wanted to ask about Hayabusa, because Hayabusa had been hurt probably 3 years prior to this, where the injury happened. I think that happened in 2001. Anyway, this is 2004, and Ricky Morton wants to ask this Japanese guy about Hayabusa. And it's one of the funniest things. And a lot of people do this, but it was just hilarious to me because, and what a spot there by Van Dam, springboard and then drop kick to the face of Hayabusa. Ricky Morton thought you could get louder and slower and then people would speak the language. And it was everything I could do to not laugh, but I'm not supposed to be in the back at all. So I'm just keeping my mouth shut and trying to keep it together. But Morton's like on the side outside smoking a cigarette, trying to make conversation with this Japanese guy who clearly doesn't speak any English. How is Hayabusa. Hayabusa. Hayabusa-san. Is Hayabusa okay? And then he would like take his two fingers like he was selling phone books back in the day for the yellow pages, like let your fingers do the walking. Is Busa-san walking? Does he walk or does he roll? And he starts moving his hands like he's simulating wheeling a wheelchair. Is he in chair? Is Hayabusa-san in chair or does he walk? Does Hayabusa walk? This thing goes on forever, and I just cannot look away. And Ricky Morton is being so sincere in checking on his friend Hayabusa. It's a legitimate concern, and he really is checking. But poor Ricky, you can be as loud as you want. He ain't deaf. He doesn't understand English.
Right.
Getting louder doesn't make it more understandable.
Right.
Talking slower isn't going to help.
Yes. Well, I understand that on the flip side of that was Tennessee meets Tokyo right there. I understand on the flip side of that, Hayabusa was asking one of his guys, an English guy back at in Tokyo, does Ricky Morton still get all that pussy? Or is he too old? Does he still fuck something every night? Or is his dick drooping? And he did the finger, dick drooping, something like that.
Well, maybe he could have just used a little coxaflop. Look at this. So Fonzie throws him a chair. He drops it. He's on the top rope. Sabu coming off the top with a chair.
Whoa, my God.
Innovative stuff, man.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Also can break a rib, too. Ricky Morton. Sure glad they got into the Hall of Fame. Whoa.
By the way, Sabu and Rob Van Dam need to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Wow, look at that by Hayabusa. Look up top. They got their spots in there, man. Whoa. And a save that time. Now the match is starting to pick up some steam. Some pretty good spots. I'm not so sure who all is in the Hall of Fame. I saw that someone had sent me something that said that Lord Alfred Hayes was in the Hall of Fame. But maybe I was wrong. I guess he was inserted in there with a bunch of other guys.
Yeah, he was.
But he should have had his own private moment, his own separate moment.
He's dead.
Right. I know that.
Well, how can he have a private moment if he's dead?
Well, I mean, his family should have.
Okay. Well, he went in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2014, and he went in the WWE Hall of Fame this year with 982 other people.
Right.
When you go in, do you think you'll go in with 982 other people, or do you think you'll get your own strut that ass moment?
Thank you very much. I'm not going in.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I am not.
If they offered, you wouldn't take it?
Nope.
Shut the fuck up.
Do you know that Lois Schiavone has been instructed that if I die before she does, and my kids have been instructed that if I die, not to accept the Hall of Fame nomination?
Get out of here.
No, I'm serious.
Well,
Oh!
I know people up there, and I'm overruling you both. You're in.
Ugh. No,
Yeah.
I'm not. 1, 2.
If you're not here, I get veto power. I'm putting you in.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it, Conrad. It doesn't mean a damn thing to me.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I don't want it to. I don't want to try to discount the guys that are in there that deserve it.
Well, hang on now.
But-
hang on now.
But listen, Bob Cottle is never going to get in the Hall of Fame. Lance Russell's never going to get in the Hall of Fame, and they both should be there. So it ain't fair to put a Tony Schiavone in if those guys are going to not go in, and that's the reason.
Well, first of
So
all,
there.
they're going to be in before you're in.
I hope.
They will be.
Then I'll reconsider.
Good.
But other than that, it's not. What is a big deal to me is being able to be here on Patron, to be able to be here on MLW.com, MLWradio.com. Jesus Christ, what a power bomb that was. Whoa, a 450 and a 2 count. And be able to talk to people. By the way, I'm still making T-shirt calls. I haven't been able to make many.
You got to record that and throw it up on Patreon too, because those are some fun interactions.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been able to do one since like in like 2 weeks because I just haven't had the time off.
No, I got you.
But I've been making some international calls. Anyway, thanks for getting the T-shirts at lowestrules.com. How about this? Boston Crab. And Van Dam up top. Whoa! Whoa! Hell of a high spot there, guys. You're right. Very innovative. Was that the 3 count? No, it was 2 count. Didn't see the referee. It was out of camera shot there.
You'll know the finish when you see it. There will be no debate.
You know, our main cameraman with MLW is Charlie, who was a cameraman for all this stuff here, too.
Barisi, right? Am I saying his name right?
I believe so. I just know him by Charlie. Really a good guy and a good cameraman. Knows his stuff. I really think there's something to be said about guys who have shot wrestling throughout their career. Just the knack of knowing. I mean, Jackie Crockett was like that. Just the knack of knowing where to go, where to be in the right place at the right time. Well, where would we be without a table, right? How many tables is this they've gone through now? 3 in this show? This will be the 3rd one.
Yeah.
What are they?
I think so.
What are they setting up here? My God, I can only imagine. So Sabu is down.
Give everybody a time cue. Tell them where you are.
Okay, I am, as he comes off with a big shoulder block that time, I'm at 132.07, 8, 9, 10, 11, and a false finish at 13. Is that where you are just about? We're close, aren't we?
Yeah, we're on it.
We're closer than we were in our our last time. Oh. Wow. Dragon screw leg whip. I remember that because I worked with Mike Tenay. Tenay taught me a lot about different holds.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I picked up on the stuff he said. It's pretty apparent to me that to really be able to call it, you got to spend more time watching it than I really have in the past. So I'm doing a lot of that now. Trying to watch some stuff, on YouTube and trying to watch a lot of the independent things and listen to what the announcers say, what they call, and if you hear this from, many different announcers, then that's what it is. In other words, do your homework.
Right.
Which I haven't had to do, and now I got to do, among all the other things I'm doing. What are they doing here? I mean, the table had been set up for a while. They're improvising here a little bit. The table broke. So you know what they should just do? They should just peel off the leg and jab it up somebody's ass. I mean, that would kind of work here.
You want to jab it up someone's ass?
Well, I mean, why not? That's a spot we haven't seen yet.
No, we haven't seen anything up anyone's ass yet.
Get ready. Get ready. Someone listening to this podcast will say, I got an idea for a spot. Well, the table's gone now. The table is gone now. The legs are broken. Unless they prop it up on the corner, there's no way to use it. So they bring in another one, of course. And they just then they bring in a second one. Hey, here's an idea. Bring in a third one. Oh, my God. I guess I think there was one time they stacked 3 tables on top of each other in WCW, and they tried that, which was pretty fucking nuts. And the fact that one is broken, it looks like they probably were going to try it. Look at Fonzie coming to the aid, man. Make sure the table is set up. All right, this kind of in the scheme of things, putting a table. Is this a tag team match where anything goes?
Every ECW match was a tag team match where anything goes.
Got it. Here they go. Been setting up this spot for quite a while. Wow. Yes, sir, baby. Now that may be the spot of the night. I like the Mike Awesome power bomb from inside out, but that may be the spot of the night for a visual. Two guys flying. And there's your finish. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir, man. It started out slowly, Conrad, but it built some steam, didn't it?
What do you
Built
think?
some steam.
What do you
I
think?
liked it. Didn't like the first of it. I think I was critical of starting so slow, but that double spot, double leg drop from the top on the table was the spot of the night. Yes, sir, man. ECW, ECF and W. Absolutely. God, I'm enjoying this stuff.
Up next, we got Taz and Bam Bam Bigalow for the fucking world title. This is it's a fun show, man.
Yeah. So let me get this right. Our buddy, Bruce Pritchard, doesn't look like this shit at all.
No.
Okay. Look, okay. There's a part of me that says, come on, guys. That's not wrestling as I know it. But here's the part of me that trumps that. And the part of me that trumps that is that, am I entertained? Fucking A, I'm entertained. And that's what it's about, isn't it? When you get right down to it?
Yeah.
Being entertained?
No doubt.
So I'm entertained. So there. That's why I say I like it. Like to see more Francine strutting around the ring, but be that as it may. Did they let her talk on the mic here? Was she able to talk, or was just Shane?
No, she's not talking on this one.
Yeah, okay. Shane was a very good, Shane worked with me a couple of times. Shane got a good voice, can project. Come on, show the finish. I got to show that finish again. They didn't show it. Yikes. Well, the truck didn't have it. Oh, here we go. Wow, yes, sir. They found it. Absolutely. So again, there's a part of the old school Tony Schiavone that says, come on. Nothing means anything because everybody's going through a table and everybody's doing a high spot and everybody's kicking out. But then again, if you're going to sit down for 2.5, 3 hours and want to be fucking entertained, you got to love this. And that's what it's about. Make me happy. All right, now they're showing it. What the hell just that? What did I just see? What in it? Did they give did they gimmick the ring to do that?
Yes, of course. Come on.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you would think, but all right. Yes, but then again, wouldn't have it happened earlier? Was that later in the night? Wow.
How crazy is that?
I just don't know why we haven't seen any juice here tonight. That's one thing I can't understand. I'm sure we're going to see it eventually.
In the main event, you'll see more than your fair share.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa. Yeah, Taz was a fucking stud, man. He was an absolute stud. That spot where he went through the apron or went through the ring. Oh my God. That was fucking awesome. Absolutely. Obviously they brought Joey in the ring a lot of times too we're seeing her on the highlights. There's Francine. That a girl. Shane Douglas. You know, I talked to Shane recently, and boy, that was a guy that I thought, you know, if we're looking for someone to do color with Tony Schiavone, why not Shane Douglas? But I really enjoy Stryker, and obviously really enjoy Rich as well. So, but this is a package that's going on forever here, Conrad. And they're showing Taz using his arm bar, I guess, to try to break somebody's arm. So now, Taz is going to wrestle. Is Shane going to get involved in this match?
Well, Shane's probably not able to do anything. That arm injury is a shoot. He's in bad shape. And
right.
I imagine one of the original ideas was to have these guys have a match here. You know, somehow it may have been a tag match or something, but there would have been something.
Yeah.
So since that can't happen, they're doing a rematch from the Through the Ring spot, and we'll have Bigalow and Taz. And on commentary here, Shane is going to put over that Bam Bam is in the best shape of his career, saying he's down to 345 pounds. And even Meltzer would say that Bigalow looked to either be in the best shape of his career or at least the best shape in about 8 years, where at one point he was working in Japan and he got real light there as well.
Right.
This is going to be pretty universally praised. 3 3/4 stars is what we're going to get here. There's a fun spot here that everybody's going to be talking about where Meltzer would write, Mikey Whipwreck spent hours putting it together. You'll know it when you see it.
Okay. And I guess Mikey was one of their agents back then.
No, Mikey was an in-ring performer. He just wasn't working that night. He's sort of, you know, in this company, it's sort of all hands on deck. Everybody helps everybody.
Right. And you know what? Nothing wrong with that. I think I told you the story about, I went to Warriors of Wrestling in there's the Fuck the World champion coming in. I went to Warriors of Wrestling in Staten Island, and I was talking to a couple of the performers. And I have so much respect and admiration for independent wrestlers. And they were asking me about their match and about their spots. And I felt uncomfortable talking about that because I'm not a performer. It's like me walking down to the batting cage at a baseball game and one of the guys saying, do you think I should hold my hands here or here? Do you think I'm getting around quick enough on a fastball inside? I'm honored that they would ask me that, but I don't think I'm a good sounding board for that.
From a production standpoint, what do you think of Taz's entrance here? They bring down all the lights, shine some red, or I guess it's orange lights. I'm colorblind. What do you think of this? I mean, he's got a real special production entrance compared to everybody else. What do you think?
Yeah, it's okay. I think it's a little bit too dark. I think they should have tried to light him a little bit better. And of course, I'm watching on a very small screen right here on my laptop. So, and you're colorblind?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I just found out a couple weeks ago you weren't a black guy.
Do I sound like one to you?
I mean, you're doing hip hop remixes on here like every third week. I just assumed.
Okay, well, no, I'm not.
You were an OG.
Okay. I like the way Taz stands there with the belt, arms crossed. I like that. Something different, right?
Absolutely.
No one else does that. It's pretty fucking cool. All right. Yeah, Bam Bam does look in good shape. Bam Bam Bigalow was a cool fucker, man.
I mean, how long do you think it would take to get those tattoos on your head?
Yeah, it would, Jesus. I'd like to have seen that happen.
I'd like to just see you get the one tattoo you promised us a year ago.
Well, okay, now hang on. Am I going to go to Luke Gallows in Conyers, Georgia and get it and put it on Patreon?
Yes.
Record it? Or am I going to get it at StarCast?
Eric Bischoff's getting one at StarCast. Don't steal his
All right.
gimmick. You're the innovator. Right. You should get it done before that too. So it won't look like, you're ripping off Eric. You can let everybody know that you did it first.
Okay.
Instead of, Flair hit it first. Tony got tatted first.
Yeah. Then Eric's going to be pissed off at me that he tried to usurp me.
No, but he did try, and you shut it down.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
He did try, and I shut it down. How did I shut it down? We're talking in circles here now. I don't know.
No, I'm saying you.
He
tried to cut the line with your tattoo gimmick.
Okay. I'm going to let him have his tattoo, and then I'm just going to do it later. Put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to show up at Starcast and say, "Oh, that tattoo's nice, Eric, but take a look at this." And,
why not? That'd be better.
No, yeah, you're trying to cause some shit now, and it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I'm not gonna be that way. Look at Taz pick him up, man. Again, Taz just fucking legit stud. Bigalow trying to get out of the ring, and Taz going to follow him. So they're going to do a spot like through the ring again, like they did, something like that. They got something gimmicked here.
Why would you assume that?
Huh?
Why would you assume that? By the way, there's going to be a suplex in a minute here that's very Cactus Jack Vader-like.
Okay. So I'm assuming that means it's going to be off the walkway to the floor. All right. Oh, there you go. Yes, sir. Ooh, God almighty. Just, you know what, and I understand it. If you would have been in the audience, you would have loved to have the fans come over towards you. But that is so dangerous.
Yeah, I got bled on by New Jack and John Cronus in 1998.
Yeah, but I'm talking about if you get hurt. If somebody falls on you and you break a leg or you hurt your back or something, what's the repercussions? The repercussions is ECW is going to be sued out of business. It's basically what it is, unless they have some sort of incredible insurance policy. And who would insure them?
Right.
Seeing this shit. It's fun, it's entertaining, but man, it's a dangerous way to do business. It really is. And I think about all the wrestlers throughout time who put their bodies, on the line and did crazy shit. For what? I mean, what were the payouts here? I don't know. I don't think it's worth I don't know. I'm sure they all made a very good living.
Sure.
But can you put a monetary value on going through a table or going outside and being power bombed on a table and hitting the back of your head? Or can you put a monetary value on, going through hitting the steel rail or hitting a chair? It's just I guess it's a 60-year-old guy talking, knowing what I know now. And also a guy that, I told you I was very close to going into a wheelchair at one time. I don't know if I ever told you that, because my neck was so bad that I had to have surgery. Was not emergency surgery, but it was close to it. And so I'm very sensitive to stuff like that. But the flip side of that is, man, I'm just loving every bit of it. I guess fuck the World Championship pinfall can count anywhere, right?
Everything in ECW is
everything.
Wide open. There's no such thing as a DQ.
Okay. That's a standing rule in ECW. There's no such thing as a DQ. There's no such thing as a count out. You just fight. Basically, it's anything goes, no disqualification match.
On the concrete, man.
Jesus Christ.
Has one of the best ECW. When I think of like ECW originals, I think of the Dudleys, I think of Rob Van Dam, I think of Sabu, I think of Sandman and Raven and Taz. That's like the core cluster of These are
Right.
ECW guys.
Right. The originals or the pioneers of ECW, so to speak. Right.
Yeah.
Tommy Dreamer, who we're going to see coming up. Who, by the way, I was on Busted Open with Tommy Dreamer.
It's your first time doing something with Tommy?
Yeah, we have shook hands and met before, and have a lot of respect for him.
He's done it all, man.
Yeah, he has, man. A lot of respect for him. And there's something very, you know what? Still to today, there's something very intimidating about him.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because of all that he's done in the business, and I respect that. Maybe that's why I'm intimidated by him. I don't know what it is.
You think he's going to pile drive you?
Well, no. I don't. He might. He might try to.
With your damaged or your diminished neck, that could be a whole situation.
That could be a whole situation. But right now, my neck is stronger than it's ever been. But back in 1995, that was not the case. That was not the case. They are just beating the fuck out of each other all over this arena. God. I mean, they've gone through chairs. They've gone through one side and the other. Ever since he dove off of the platform there, the walkway, this match has nothing but fucking stayed around all over the place. Wow. And so he's just going to choke him. Rear naked choke is what we call it now, and Bam Bam got out of it. Taz also did some commentary too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I think you're thinking about the WWE though. That's where he really became a commentator. He did stuff for WWE and TNA on commentary.
Yeah, TNA is what I remember. I don't remember him doing, WWE stuff, but I remember his name being used in TNA and working with Mike Tenay, I think, in TNA, if I remember. Jesus, this match has gone absolutely everywhere.
And they're not done.
No, they're not. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what these guys have done. And you know what? To me, it's amazing. And I guess money talks, and you're going to go ahead and sell your library and sell your company. But it's amazing that it's not still in business. Don't you think there would be a market for this on a bigger scale?
Yeah. I mean, I understand why it went out of business at the time. I think an ECW today would be very successful. Ring of Honor's having great success, and if ECW were around today, it would be hugely successful.
Yeah.
Not compared to the WWE, of course, but I mean, it would still have a place. But at the time, you couldn't just have fans support you directly, like through an OTT service like the WWE network. But if there was an ECW network, yes, there would be fans who would support that.
And Vince knows that, and that's why he bought it. So he ineffectively just put it out of business.
Just breaking the table with your fucking head. Unbelievable.
And normally the chairs, the tables are gimmicked like in the middle, but I'm not so sure that table was gimmicked. Or I don't think his head hit the part that was gimmicked. Put it that way. Jesus. So we're going to use the other side of it now. There's a part of it broken right there. See how that table is broken? I'm just not so sure that was gimmick. See how it's broken in kind of a curve? Oh, there we got some juice. Yeah, baby. Old school juice. Had a cousin of mine, Butch. Butchie and I used to go see wrestling, and when we would see him juice, we would just go crazy. We saw them bleed. So I was really into seeing that. So that's why I get excited when I see it. And I'm not so sure that was juicing or that was maybe the hard way that time.
How about the suplex?
Wow.
Through the table.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. See Taz's head?
I do.
Fucking forehead. Well, the old adage was red means green. And I'm not so sure in 1998 it meant green. It just meant another fucking high spot. Oh.
I love this era. Taz is the best, man.
God almighty. He's really opened himself up. That's why I'm thinking it was maybe the hard way. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I didn't see him saw himself, but I just look at that table and I saw the table broke.
Right.
And you said, head first through the table. I mean, that would realistically make you bleed anyway. Who's that guy down on the side? That's got that mustache?
That's Atlas Security. They'll be at StarCast.
Okay. Atlas Security?
Yep.
So they did have security there.
Yeah. All those guys with the porn stashes and all black suits and turtlenecks, that's Atlas Security.
Okay. Well,
Ran
very
by
cool.
Ronnie Lang. And that looks like Klondike Bill. It's Carnival barking right in Taz's face.
Right. Somebody's got a Tony sign. Did you see that?
It probably wasn't for you.
Yeah, I know it wasn't for me, but.
What do you think of this spot here?
Oh! Woo! Show that again. Fuck, show that again. Oh, man. Now, you know what? I said the double table spot with Van Dam and Sabu was the spot of the night. This has topped it. For a visual, for a crowd reaction, for oh my God fucking moment, this was the spot of the night. And they're both dead. Ring the bell. No count out. Sorry. It's ECW. We wrestle till someone gets pinned or dies.
I don't know why that's funny to me, but it is.
It's true. I mean, my God, they're nowhere to be found. They're not. I mean, it's like referee saying, "Is somebody moving down there?" I don't know. Ask Atlas Security. Is anybody moving? Don't see anybody down there. Oh, this is pretty good drama. Here's why it's good drama, because I mean, you're there and you're thinking, yeah, they're doing some crazy shit, and now you're thinking they're down there so long that they are really, really hurt, and well, they probably really are. And Bam Bam, I think, is juice now coming up.
So if you remember in the clip we just saw from their match in Asbury Park, New Jersey, I believe it was. Maybe I have that wrong. But they were in Living Dangerously 1998. In that pay-per-view, we saw Taz hook on the Taz mission, the Kazahajime.
Yeah.
Bigalow collapsed on him through the ring and collapsed the ring canvas.
Yeah.
And here they go through the ramp. Taz jumps on his back, taps him out. And you're going to see a reaction here. Cause I guess we should remind you that Chris Candido, Bam Bam Bigalow, and Shane Douglas are all a part of the Triple Threat. Shane Douglas is the leader of his own little like miniature Four Horsemen, except it's those three guys.
Right.
And he's doing commentary from, I guess we might call it the Crow's Nest here. And he's clearly in a feud with Taz over the world title and the Fuck the World title. And we'll see if we get a shot here of Shane Douglas in a moment.
Yeah. Well, I think they got Bam Bam off, head wrapped up in a towel because he was obviously bleeding. And that Fuck the World title looks like one half of the U.S. Tag Team Championship belts. Now Taz is he pointing up to him?
Yep.
Oh, he's got a microphone. Okay.
Hey, Douglas, beat me if you can, survive if I let you. He says something like that.
Yeah. Now here's the react. Holy shit. Fucking cool, man.
Throwing the monitor down, flipping them off. I mean, they've already, they had a phenomenal match here that everybody's going to be talking about, but they immediately used it to sort of lead to the next thing, right?
Yeah, right.
Good stuff, man. It's a great show. I see why everybody loved this one so much, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I had read that many said it was the best ECW show ever, ECW pay-per-view ever, and I can't see where they would top it or how they could top it. And we're not. Oh, okay, here we go. Here comes Shane with Francine. And I guess he's going to get in the ring to have the last word, right? Well, I don't know. It's kind of an awkward moment to where nothing's happening. But after what we've seen, why not take a breath? As Court Bauer would tell us, breathe. Let's go to Joey. And Joey just filling some time here, I'm sure.
Well, they got to build the fucking ramp again.
Yeah. Do they really got to build it? They just walk around it.
Well, you'll see.
Okay.
So what do you think, man? ECW Heatwave 1998. That match we just saw got 3 3/4 stars. The match we're going to see in a minute is going to be Tommy Dreamer and Sandman and Spike Dudley taking on Ray Dudley and Devon and Big Dick. They're going to do a street fight. And this is when the Dudleys have lengthy mic work before the match. And they're actually going to go 14 minutes and 26 seconds once the match actually gets started. 2 1/4 stars is the rating that we're going to get there.
All right. Let me ask you about Joey Styles' persona. Was he a heel announcer?
No.
Because he kind of, and I'm just watching him here without listening to what he says. But he looks like he has, I guess, see, look how he's mugging to the camera. Looks like he has an attitude. I guess that's what they want him to have, right?
Yeah, they wanted him to have an edge. He's not supposed to be vanilla like you were.
Okay.
I'm not saying that negative. I'm saying you did your job. And, he doesn't have somebody to sort of bounce that off of. You can't be good cop, bad cop if there's one cop.
Right. He did a good job, man. And I to be honest, I haven't seen or heard much of Joey Styles' work until recently, but I liked it.
How about the way the camera keeps twisting and turning? What do you think of that?
Well, in the context of the show, I love it. It all works. It's extreme, right? See how he looked and he turned away? Take a look at this character, would you?
Joel Gertner, who will also be at StarCast.
Wow. David Penzer with gout.
And look, they've patched up the ramp.
How about that, man?
By the way, I know it's not everybody's favorite, but I fucking love a good ramp like this. I was really glad to see that MLW did a ramp for their Battle Riot show.
All right.
That's Sign Guy Dudley right there.
Yeah, right. Big PPV stars, got it. So the Dudleys are going to come out first, and they're going to do a long interview here.
And behind him is Judge Jeff Jones, and that blow-up doll has Beulah McGillicuddy's face on it because the Dudley Boyz gave Beulah McGillicuddy, who was Tommy Dreamer's girl, his wife in real life, a Dudley death drop and quote-unquote broke her neck, and that retired her. And behind Devon, as somebody likes to say, his real name is Devon, is Ray.
All right, hang on a second. Broke her neck in a work or in a shoot?
In a work, come on.
Oh, well, you never know. I mean, this is ECW. They've kind of blurred the line between work and shoot here, right?
Yeah.
So you got to ask.
And then there's Big Dick right there.
Okay.
I know you've been looking for Big Dick all night.
Yeah. That's Big Dick right there.
And for you, this is one of the first times you've ever actually seen a Big Dick in real life, right?
Well, yeah. Wait. First time. Yes, it is.
Again, I know you've heard about Big Dick and you've heard the rumor and innuendo that Big Dick was a thing, but now, you get to see Big Dick in person.
Right. Since we're blurring the line between what's the work and what's the shoot. Yes.
No, I'm not trying to blur anything. I'm saying that's really big dick right there. By the way, do you want to listen to this on the show or no?
Yeah.
Bubba Ray has the mic.
I hate every single one of you people in here. If you didn't know, what you are looking at is the toughest 3 men in pro wrestling today.
So nothing too crazy so far, but you get a flavor for what he's doing.
All right.
By the way, they have no theme music.
We challenge anybody in the WWF. We challenge everybody in the WCW. But most of all, we challenge each and every one of you. If you got the guts, bring it on down to the ring and we'll kick your asses right now.
Yeah.
So this is when business picks up. He would do this on house shows and everywhere.
Mark's fear of Bubba.
There's not one man in this whole arena who's got the guts to get in the ring with the Dudley Boyz.
Business is about to pick up.
If you got the guts, fat man, bring it on down to the ring. You're gonna need that crutch when the Dudley Boyz are done with you.
This is kind of a
I guess you're just mad that I was with your mother last night.
yeah.
And in the words of my brother Devon, without any further ado, it is now time for Brother Gardner. Shut the hell up. Testify. Is it hot in here or is it just me? Well. Dayton, Ohio. Amazing where people can live these days. It is I, the man your mother warned you about, the man that makes your panties moist, and the only man that matters, hotter than a heat wave and harder than Chinese algebra, the quintessential stud muffin, myself, Joel. I always leave them sore, yet they keep coming back for more. Gertner.
I see your new favorite wrestling personality, Joel Gertner.
He's close.
Also in the ring at this time, he is a referee with integrity and a referee with hair. The Extreme Official, Jeff Jones.
By the way, Jeff Jones, personal friend of mine, listener to the show. He'll be at StarCast.
All right, Jeff.
Accompanying him to ringside, the trashiest prostitute to ever enter professional wrestling, our valet and love slave,
Come on.
Beulah McGillis-Slutty.
damn dollars. The only way Gertner's ever going to get laid in this lifetime.
And at my right, my colleague. You saw him suffer on ECW television. A torn ACL, a damaged patella tendon, a ruptured rectum.
I bet Joe caused that injury himself.
I mean a deviated septum and a kidney stone. Nonetheless, he stands before you as the quiet behind the riot and the innovator of silence, Sign Guy Dudley. And at this time, here they are, the Trans-Coastal, Transcontinental, and Intergalactic six-man tag team champions of the wrestling world. First, from the Twisted Steel section of Dudleyville, 368 pounds, 26 1/2 inches of arms attached to the man who can rip the Guinness Book in half with his bare hands. And
my God,
it's not out of Ripley, believe it or not, pro wrestling's only real mastodon, Big Dick Dudley.
There you go. Quite an introduction for Big Dick.
Yeah, I know.
Talk about a criminal.
Wow. Well, they just kind of they kind of played on the fact that one of them had been fucked in the ass, didn't they?
A ruptured rectum.
Yeah, a ruptured rectum, and then they told him to keep it quiet. And then he said a deviated septum in the kidney area or something like that.
So, you know, Bubba would take this to another level. I mean,
all right, here's the actual question that I got to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, challenging fans is an old thing that Ole Anderson used to do.
Sure.
But he used to do it in the studio, right? And Ole, which is legend now, you know, Ole got cut in Greenville, South Carolina, and almost bled to death if it wasn't for Peggy Latham. And, of course, they've been very close friends ever since then because Peggy's a nurse. My question is, did anybody accept the challenge, or did everybody just laugh it off?
Many times fans would try to get in, and a year later at Heatwave 99, Bubba would do this again. And there he would yell, you know, and look at this lady. She probably taught her daughter how to suck dick.
Oh my God.
And I mean, just unbelievable, just the way he would just cross the line and whatever he could to get a reaction. And
right.
I mean, you got to see sort of it forming here, but it would continue to build over the next year. And yeah, there were a lot of incidents where they would incite little miniature riots like we heard about back in the day with, you know, the Bill Watts territory. And it was because of him sort of challenging fans like that. And they take their time on the introductions, and this becomes like a whole big part of the act, this big cast of characters. And I think Raven has been the person who was credited with this idea, and he sort of, you know, ripped it off from a movie. I'm sure you remember the hockey Kurt Russell movie from back in the day.
Yeah. Right. Here's why I say that. It just seems to me that the fans here, and especially the guys that are ringside, all right, the fans here are in on the thing. They're part of the show. They feel like they're part of the show. So, I mean, I didn't know if they would get anybody coming down and challenge him or not. So,
yeah, they really
okay.
hate the Dudleys.
All right, that's a pretty good look. That's a good shot right there. And the fact is that Bubba Ray's got a Confederate flag bandana on his is kind of
Yeah.
eye popping as well.
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be a rebel and a heel. Obviously, in more recent years, that's taken on a whole new life.
All right. Now this has got to be a Dudley here too, right?
Yeah, that's Spike Dudley, who
Okay.
is the runt of the litter.
All right.
And he's had a falling out with the Dudleys. And so here's
All
Tommy
right.
Dreamer, and of course Sandman with the world's largest ladder.
Yeah.
But it's funny because they've got 3 different ladders and it's all based on how big they are, which I think is funny.
Yeah.
This is either the world's worst construction crew or some sort of I don't even know, like some sort of performance dance for a Verizon commercial.
Yeah.
So they've got more bars in more places.
All right. Those guys ring a doorbell, say, "We understand you need your gutters cleaned." You'd say, "Wrong house.
We're good."
Oh God.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I do think that my gutter guy looks a lot like Sandman.
Could be.
I need to find the picture of my gutter guy and post that up.
It's a wonder they didn't come up with a character called Gutter Guy. Oh,
The big difference in Jim Crockett Promotions and ECW, and Jim Crockett Promotions, they drank beer after the matches.
I was going to say everything. But God. And yes, hardcore hack. And look at who was the little Dudley? What's it? Is
Spike?
Spike, and did he go on to wrestle anywhere else?
Yeah, he was a big star in the WWE and was at WrestleMania, and I mean he's a bona fide Hall of Famer.
All right, good. Good for him. Yeah, Tommy Dreamer should be a bona fide Hall of Famer too.
He will be. They'll probably wait till he's done doing his promotion, and then he'll be in. Tommy Dreamer's a Hall of Famer all day.
Yeah.
How about giving some beer to the fans?
Yeah. Conrad, there's nothing like this.
You know what sucks though is on the network, and I'm glad we've got it muted. They can't play Enter Sandman.
I know. I'm sure. But that's what they're playing here, right?
Of course.
Of course. And there's nothing like this. There's absolutely nothing on TV like this. There's not. And thank God. I hate to say thank God for the network, but thank God the network lets you relive stuff like this. I go back. This is the difference between me and you. I go back and think about, Blackjack Mulligan and Ric Flair. And you go back and think about, a guy busting a beer can over his head. That's my childhood, guys. And of course, mine's also tied into baseball too, but it's just amazing. This brings back your childhood. I understand. I get that. I really get that. And how much of an impact it had on your life. Just, there's nothing like this on television. And I hope the MLW people don't think I'm ripping on them, because I'm not, because we cannot have anybody to come to their bust a beer can over their head and then drink a beer on TV now. We can't have that. But there's nothing like it. This has been an amazing experience. Plus, we've seen a big dick. And so how can you not like that? And we've seen Tammy, and we've seen gorgeous Francine. And I saw for the first time ever, it had to be, I hate to call her a freak of nature, but holy snakes. What have I? Well, I'm glad you're with us here on What Happened When, because What Happened When back in 1998 was quite the event. And they haven't even started the match.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And they're going to get to getting it in a minute, boy.
Yeah. And we are already thoroughly entertained, and they haven't even come to blows. Man. Okay.
Isn't it interesting too that the Taz match, not, there's no world title match here. And
right.
But the world title, not the main event, even with that crazy high spot.
Jesus. All right. I'm sure we are going to get it. Yeah, you have this, and of course the other one we saw, barely legal, has opened my eyes. It's like, where was I?
Well, wait till you see. There's a spot in here where something that I look forward to at every ECW show, that when I think of one guy who sort of represented what ECW was at its brawling, weapon, gimmick height, he's going to be introduced here in a little bit.
Oh, so he's not here yet.
Nope. We're not done.
All right. We still got some more surprises. I mean, you get to the point in this, and again, you get to the point in this where you're asking yourself, what else can we fucking see? What in the world are... Wow. Great series of spots here. Absolutely. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen Tommy Dreamer wrestle.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think he wrestled in Barely Legal. If it did, I forgot it, but I'm watching it now. So this is, they call themselves the uncrowned six-man champions. Or are they all, oh my God. Are they going to do an, there's no way you can work that hold. There's no way you can work that move. Put a guy up on the top rope and then do a neck breaker. There's no way that you can do that without actually hurting someone. Impossible. God, and he took it right off the get-go. Bubba Ray instead of Big Dick.
Well, Big Dick was not really a great worker. He's here to choke slam people and grunt.
Got to know your role.
Yeah, he's a choke slamming and grunter. But really, what else do you need Big Dick to do than choke slam and grunt?
Right. This is good shit, man. God, Bubba was just a cocky, arrogant, big motherfucker, wasn't he?
As well he should be. I mean,
yeah,
it's clearly working.
Oh, very good. Good spot. One. Got a one count. Fuck, I'm entertained. They don't have to go through a table or a chair for me. I'm entertained by what they're doing right now, man.
Yeah, they're showing that they can do a regular match.
Yes, they are. Absolutely. Staked on his chest. Hell yeah, man. I can see why they're in the Hall of Fame.
It's worth mentioning, I guess, that Sandman quit 2 days later.
And came to what? WCW?
No. By the end of the day, it was revealed it was just, a negotiating ploy, but he wasn't happy with his pay-per-view payout.
Right.
He was under the impression that he was going to be part of the highest pay tier for the show. And then he found out that others were earning more and basically quit.
And that always will do you in.
His contract expired over the weekend and he was looking for a raise. He was making $3,000 a week plus bonuses, which would have ranged from $4,000 to $7,500 for pay-per-view shows. And Heyman says that, since ECW is doing 6 pay-per-view shows instead of 4, that he would be getting a raise, but he wouldn't bump up the weekly guarantee, much of which was covered by Sandman's merch sales, which he sort of signs away the rights to when he gets the guarantee. Anyway, eventually cooler heads prevail, and he's a big merch seller, but his leverage is that, they don't have to have him, and people don't think that, his drinking gimmick will be allowed in WWF because Austin's doing it, and they don't think that he could take this act to WCW. But of course we know he does.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It is not the same. Boy, I tell you, Spike doing some pretty good bumping here for his big guy. I mean, you can throw him around like a rag doll, and it looks legit. Well, it looks legit because
it is
1-800. Yeah, because it is right. 1-800 broken neck. I like that. Oh God, man! I tell you, if I were a fan, I would have loved this shit too. If I was hit him in the head with a beer can. Boom! Down he goes. Oh God, we haven't seen Big Dick yet. Come on, get him in there. Get him to grunt and sell. Do something. So they only gave this match they didn't give this match 3 stars. I think just what we've seen so far. The intro, the talk, the Spike being thrown around the ring like a rag doll doing some shit. I think that deserves more than 2 and whatever stars. And why am I worrying about what Meltzer thinks anyway? What the fuck am I talking about?
I don't know. I was wondering.
Who the fuck gives a shit what he thinks? Are you going to get us together, me and Meltzer at StarCast?
No.
All right. You don't want to have anything to do with me, I'm sure.
That's right.
Good.
He told me that specifically.
Yeah. Good. I ought to bring Lois to walk up and talk to him.
Well, why would you do that?
Because she's she can cut one of the best promos ever when she's mad. Ever.
But what is she mad at Dave about?
She's not mad. She didn't even know who he is right now, but I could prep her for it. And
But
she would.
why? Why would you do that?
Oh, just to see her cut a promo on him.
No, let's not do that.
Okay. Oh yeah, let's be nice guys, right?
He's been super nice to us.
He has?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't read any of his stuff. I don't know.
He's super nice. And he's coming to the show. He's complimentary. Yeah, he was critical when your shit sucked, but you admitted that a lot of times your shit sucked. So what's the big deal?
Okay. Look at this. They cleared out a fucking section of people. Look at that. I mean, they take a camera shot, they swing the camera shot over, right? And it's looked like all those people, they were here, but they're dead now because we just wiped them all out.
That'll teach them.
ECW.
ECW.
Oh man. Again, my hat's off to Paul Heyman. And I know he hates me, but my hat's off to him for what he put together here. And not only him, but to all the performers who and it's a well-worn term. I hate it, but they use it in college football all the time, who bought into his vision, but they did buy into his vision of something completely different. And it started out as East Coast wrestling, right?
Yep.
And then it turned into Extreme.
Eastern Championship Wrestling.
Eastern Championship Wrestling. And then it became Extreme. When did that change take place? It probably didn't take long.
I believe that happened in 94.
Okay. Fucking Sandman trying to Frankensteiner. Oh. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd have taken a Frankenstein. That wasn't the greatest looking Frankenstein in the world, but it was pretty fucking effective. All right, here we go. It's knee. Not a blow out of knee. It's ladder time in the ring, Conrad. Hey, look at Big Dick. Look at Big Dick.
It's your favorite. It's one of your favorite things to do. I think that might be the only time you've said that when Flair wasn't in the room. And we just talked over the guy steadying the world's tallest ladder, Spike climbing to the top of it, the tippy top, and just jumping off onto the Dudleys. Wide shot of the crowd. Go ahead and tell us what you think everybody's saying right now.
What? You mean the The announcers?
No, the fans.
Oh, the fan. ECW, ECW, ECF and W.
By the way, in my household years ago, whenever anything would fall, like
God,
somebody drops a dish, somebody drops a glass, there's some sort of loud commotion in the kitchen with all the pots and pans. I had my daughter trained to start chanting ECW, ECW. But I mean, I stopped it there. Like whenever her mom would break a glass, I didn't have her yell, "You fucked up, you fucked up, you fucked up." And thankfully, whenever I started dating after her and her mom split, she wasn't taught to chant at my new girlfriends. She's a crack whore. Or she's got herpes. Sometimes whenever I get a haircut at home, I'll call her in and I'll be like, "Sweep it up, asshole, sweep it up."
Well, I'm going to start using the chant with Lois. You fucked. What is it?
You fucked up. You fucked
you
up.
Fucked up.
You fucked up.
I'm going to start using that at the house.
I'll
let you know. Let you know how that goes.
Film it so we can at least know the accurate time of death.
Yeah. Yes. It'll be on volume 3 of Living with Lois on Patreon.
Tony Schiavone was 60 years old.
You fucked up. You fucked up. And about the third time, only thing you'll hear is you fuck. And that's it. Fuck.
Tell me what's going on with the Rap Battle Royal. We hadn't talked about that today.
The Rap Battle Royal?
You told me you're having a Rap Battle Royal and you were hoping that we could get some insight as to my whereabouts of my belt.
Okay, well, we've got the exterminators going up to the attic next week to take a look and see how things are going. They've told us you got to get rid of all the stuff up top, and we are kind of dragging our feet with doing that. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay, and you're going to get your belt. What happens now if we go up there and your belt's not there? Can I ask you, what in the fuck am I watching? I'm watching guys bleeding profusely. I'm watching ladders,
chairs,
blood, big dick. We got a
crutch, a hop along.
Yes.
There's a blow up doll.
Good God.
An oil change man.
Oh, Jesus.
A figure 4, 2 trees of woe.
Whoa, Jesus.
A sign guy, a crooked referee, a crooked referee, Judge Jones.
Yeah, that's
Now check this out. He's got a pile driver on a blow up doll. Now, of course, they were mocking Tommy's wife, and now Tommy delivers a pile driver to him.
Right,
and
I got it.
In comes the main event, Mr. Joel Gertner.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why he's in there, but even the referee's helping out.
Yeah. Well, you can see why the referee would help him tie Joel Gertner to the tree of woe. Oh, would somebody cover up his hairy belly? Oh, God.
Wait, you don't like hair on the belly? You want hairless bellies?
Well, no, it reminds me of the back of Dutch Mantel.
How about the referee just shot a chair in the Gertner's face, dude?
This is a, you know what this is? This is like a car wreck. This is absolutely like just watching with bodies and blood.
And a referee kicking chairs into managers' faces in the middle of the match.
Yeah. Well, why not?
Big Dick with the run in.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plot.
Well, you better pull out quickly. Thank you very much. I'll be here all this week. God, and they're going to take another spot on the ladder. Fuck you. What did the fuck he do that for?
Well, they're trying to inflict pain on the other person.
Well, no, I get it, but I mean, Dreamer didn't hit the ladder. Big Dick hit the ladder that time.
Big Dick can't bump. We talked about that. How about that spot?
Yeah,
off the top rope, through the table, and now turn around, wham! Sandman nails him, and he no-sells it, so he hits Big Dick and his little dick. Swings at Bubba, and got his hand up, and Bubba was swinging full force on that chair. Collapsed.
Yes, he was.
That was nasty. What a chair shot.
Yeah.
What a turn of events here. Bubba, is he thinking about doing a senton off the top on top of a ladder?
And now go to DDT him on the ladder, right? That's got to be it.
Why would you think that's it?
1, 2, 3.
It's not the finish.
That was the finish. The DDT on they just win 1, 2, 3. But that's probably not the end of this crazy beat. Fuck.
Yeah, that's the end of the match, but that's not the end of the shenanigans.
Okay. Oh, is that Axel?
There's Jack Victory.
Jack Victory. Okay.
Explodes a guitar over
Right.
Tommy Dreamer.
Uh-huh.
And I like when they filled the guitars with baby powder. Made for a cool
Yeah,
effect.
Yeah, that was good. To me, what we're seeing right now, what we've seen at the finish, and all these bodies in the ring, to me, just encapsulates what ECW is all about. Don't you agree? What do we got here?
This is what ECW is all about. You see all those X's in the crowd? It's because there's a shopping cart of weapons, and here's New Jack.
Oh,
with a stop sign and a VCR and a grocery cart and a trash can. And what's fun is whenever New Jack comes out, they play the music the entire time during the match. They don't turn it down. Now, of course, they can't play the real unlicensed music here, but it was Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, Natural Born Killers.
Jesus. Oh my God. Fuck.
I'm going to play a little bit of that for you so you can.
No, you can't. Don't play it.
Don't play it?
No.
Okay.
Because we won't be able to put it on YouTube.
Listen,
but he just threw the motherfucking shopping cart out of the ring. He threw the shopping cart out of the ring.
A golf club on the ding dong.
So he's going to play a little music for us. Oh God. This is like fucking chaos.
Look at the crowd though. How into this is everybody?
I know. This is like, it's better than a fucking movie. It's better than an action movie. Yeah. It's better than an action movie. Oh, good God. You know, you got to prepare yourself for this. I mean, you leave as fans in this thing fucking sweating through your shirt, out of breath.
See, look at those. It looks like the Verizon gimmick.
Right. So they're all going to climb up the ladder. And with the hero shot. Fuck. Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, to be honest with you, it's not pro wrestling like I knew it, but it's a spectacular 2.5 hours.
97% thumbs up.
Who would give it a thumbs down?
Nobody.
Yeah, they just worked that number.
I love it, man. Well, there you go. What'd you think? Of course, they're teasing that the next pay-per-view is going to be November to Remember 1998. And this is going to wrap up Heatwave 1998, what a lot of people believe to be the best ECW pay-per-view ever. What say you?
Well, I don't know if it was the best one ever because I haven't seen them, but I cannot imagine anything being any better than this. Cannot imagine.
What's funny is even on TV on the way to build this pay-per-view, Shane Douglas sort of admitted that none of the pay-per-views since Barely Legal had really hit the mark, but that they had a show planned here for Heatwave 98 that no company would be able to compete with. And they did it, man.
Yeah, they did. They pulled it off. They absolutely pulled it off.
So go ahead and give us, in your opinion, your top 3 moments from the pay-per-view.
Top 3 moments from the pay-per-view. Number 1 was going through the ramp. That was number 1. The double leg drop. That was double leg drop from Van Dam and Sabu on the table. That was number 2. And number 3 was Mike Awesome going off the top rope into the stands. That was number 3.
What a show. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed it.
And of course, just for the visual, you can't beat that last visual of 3 guys on the ladder with a hero shot. That was a hell of a way to end that show. To me, that was almost ECW taking a fucking bow to the fans. This is what we brought you tonight. That's what that represented. That's what crossed my mind when I saw that. That visual was a hell of a way to end the show. Actually, that's what they should have gone to black on. But they had to time it out a little bit. But that was tremendous.
Well, I loved it, and hopefully you did too. Check us out on Patreon if you'd like to get your shows early and ad-free, and you want some bonus content. Slapdick Theater, which was the show stealer this past week, is up there. Some surprises with Tony at the ballpark, and you never know, you might be like, I guess our low-key big hog, Mr. Paul, who came and joined us together and ate pizza with me and you and Bruce Pritchard. We had our own little table for 3, I think Paul called it. That's one of the many perks of supporting us on Patreon. You get to have coffee with Tony. And it just so happened that when Tony was in Pennsylvania, so were Bruce and I. So we got the gang together and it was a lot of fun. And we would love to have you consider supporting us at patreon.com/WHW Monday. You can also interact with us on Twitter. Our show handle is at WHW Monday. We're on Facebook, WHW Monday there as well. Of course, Instagram, the exact same thing, WHW Monday. He is also on Twitter, but he won't acknowledge you there because he's not a Twitter person. But I'm very active on Twitter. Hey, it's Conrad. And I had a lot of fun today, Tony, but it does feel like it's about that time.
It's for the Fuck the World Championship. It's going to be Conrad Thompson against Big Dick. So in other words, as I would call it, it would be Big Dick against Big Prick. And the Big Dick and Big Prick are colliding together once again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. More than likely, Big Prick's going to go over because, as we know, he's a big prick. See you next week on What Happened When on the MLW Radio Network and also on
Patron.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. If you want more of Conrad Thompson and Tony Schiavone, don't waste your sorry ass time. Head over to patreon.com/WHW Monday, complete with behind the scenes videos and new content every week. That's patreon.com/WHW Monday. And by LowestRules.com, one of the hottest sites over on ProWrestlingTees.com, the place to get all your favorite t-shirts from What Happened When. Remember, LowestRules.com, named after the craziest lady that you've ever met before in your life. And trust me, she'll break your skull quicker than Bischoff can FedEx you walking papers. You know what I like about her? She can chug a beer. So give me a hell yeah. Head over to LowestRules.com. BoxingGimmicks.com, complete with coffee mugs. What? Baby onesies. What? Beach towels. What? Koozies. What? And a whole lot more to shamelessly show your support of What Happened When. What? Something to wrestle with. What? And 83 weeks. What? Head over to BoxingGimmicks.com. Also, Slapdick Theater with your host, Calendar Zadumas. And that's the bottom line. Tony Schiavone is a goddamn office stooge.